in the fires of hope and prayer. With boundless faith in our destiny, we solemnly declare. Side by side we stand, islands of the blue Caribbean Sea, this our native land. We pledge our lives to thee. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our nation. Here every creed and race find an equal place, and may God bless our
Heavenly Father, we come before you at the start of this new day, giving thanks for life, for health, and the opportunity to serve through this station. We ask for your divine presence to guide us in all we do. Bless this broadcast, that it may be a source of inspiration, joy, and unity to all who tune in. Whether near or far, may our words uplift, our music heal, and our message bring light to those who need it most. We pray for our listeners, wherever they may be. Grant them strength for the day ahead, peace in their hearts, and success in all they put their hands to. Cover those traveling with your protection, and those at home with your comfort and provision. Lord, may everything we do bring honor to you and be a blessing to others. Guide our steps, bless our efforts, and let this station be a vessel of positivity and hope. In your name we pray. Amen.
Your voice, your soundtrack, your station. New Era TT Radio. NETT Radio.
This is not Hollywood. No, we don't come out of pose. We just party with no restraint. From pillar to post, I just party the most. I behave in the worst. My conduct is so gross, 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 gross. From the time that I wake, I'm ready to bust the gate. You just get mashed up again. Top over, good morning. Show them how we just jump up. Show them how we just free up. Top over, good morning. Yes, it belongs to we. We making history. We celebrate, we celebrate. Just doing our duties, and nothing can stop it. We just party in sun or rain. From pillar to post, we just party the most. We behave in the worst. We conduct it so gross, 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 gross. From the fed to the stage, time I get in a rage. For the morning, much up again. Baby, this good morning. It's another episode when we out on the road. Yeah, this is what we love to celebrate, to celebrate. This is not Hollywood. No, we don't come out of pose. We this party with no restraint. From pillar to post, I this party the most. I behave in the worst. My conduct is so gross, 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 gross. From the time that I wake, I ready to bust the gate. You just can mash up again. Crop over good morning. Show them how we did jump up. Show them how we did free up. Crop over good morning. Show them how we did jump up. Show them how we did free up. Right now let me start the drinking, start the bumping, start the betting. Right now let me start the drinking, start the bumping, start the lining. Right now let me start the drinking, start the bumping, start the betting. Right now let me start it. Oh, right now let me start it. Crop over good morning. Show them how we did jump up. Show them how we did free up. Oh, crop over good morning. Show them how we did jump up. Show them how we did free up. Oh, right now let me start the drinking, start the bumping, start the betting. Right now let me start the drinking, start the bumping, start the lining. Right now let me start the drinking, start the bumping, start the
It's the
betting.
NETT
Right
Radio
now let me
Breakfast Show, bringing you the energy, music, and vibes to start your day right.
We're ready. And I guess you are ready too, yeah? So as the song says, right now, let me start it, yeah? So good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. Good morning to our neighbors in the Caribbean. All our friends and family, diaspora people, good day to you, wherever you may be. Thank you very much for tuning in, tuning on, logging on. Such a beautiful, wonderful day as we're heading down into the weekend right about now, and it's starting to feel really good. So let me say much thanks as always to the Heavenly Father for bringing us together for another day. All that we do, dear God, let it be a blessing unto you. People, of course, you're listening to New Era TT Radio, NETT Radio, Heartbeat of the Caribbean, taking you above and beyond. Sir Charles, that is me. Happy am I to be in this space with you. I say welcome you to Get Up and Go. Everybody, this is your breakfast show.
Get up, it's the time to start the day. The breakfast show is here, we bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The breakfast show got the vibes turned on. From Morocco's Bay to the Savannah line. Let's start the day in Caribbean prime. Oh, oh, good vibes rolling through the air. The breakfast show, energy everywhere. We talk, we laugh, we make you think. Grab your double or your morning drink.
To everybody, and of course, good morning to you. Grab your doubles. Today really feel like a kind of doubles day to me. It's Thursday. You know, just have some days that you do certain things. Yeah, Tuesday might be my doubles day. So good morning, everybody, and of course, thanks for showing up. Thanks for being here. And also let me say thanks to my co-host, Richard, who I'm sure will join us at some point in time once he has his doubles or his coffee. And Wendell, who probably already had his coffee.
Yeah, I actually just finished my coffee. Good morning, Charles. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. And good morning, listeners and viewers all over the globe. Trinidad, good morning. So, Charles, will you just pull out them tunes from me?
once it has you, singing and stuff. Yeah, that means it's doing its work.
Who sang that again?
Oh God,
Was that a group? Was that a Trinidad group?
No, that
Or
was
Bajan group?
right. Peter Ram.
Peter Ram.
Yeah.
Yes, a heavy set guy, kind of Douglas East Indian kind of guy. And
Yeah.
he won Soca Mate. He won Groovy Monarch that year, I think.
Yeah, he took the Groovy Monarch that year.
Yes. I remember him. Wow, I didn't remember the name. But now that you say Peter Ram, I remember this heavy set kind of East Indian Douglas guy. And he won Soca Monarch.
Yeah.
He mashed up the stadium, man. I think that show was at the stadium.
Yeah, he adapted it to Good Morning to Trinidad, Good Morning to... Anyway, he was singing it anywhere. I mean, he did really well.
He had a real successful carnival that year.
Yeah.
That year.
That's all they take for most of calypsonians, and one good year, and they're all over the place.
Yeah,
and
man.
it's the consistency. It's to get them back another year, you know.
Peter Ram, you know, you're not associate that name with soca. When you hear it, if somebody say Peter Ram was singing, they will say, who? Where where you come from?
They might at least say chutney.
Yeah. No, but even the name Peter Ram, it doesn't strike you as a performer, you know. But I remember him. I'm seeing him now as you speak about it. I'm seeing what he looks like. Look like now. But he done with that or what?
But that's what I tell you. See, most people come, they make a little hit. The next year they kind of all right, and then after that they start to fade. The arena not easy, you know. I mean, people who do it consistently having hits outside there. Well, I don't know if it's just because of their personalities, but the Marshalls and Kess and Bungies and them fellas have to be congratulated, you know.
Yeah.
To be able to produce hits every year. And that is why you find that some of the artists, some of them very lukewarm these days, because it have so many others coming from all over now. The arena open, you know.
Yes. He was big that year. He was big. And as I say, he won Soca Monarch, the groovy Soca Monarch. He won it easily. Yeah. Anyway, good morning, people. Happy birthday to Stephen Abrebrese. He's from Ghana.
Oh Lord.
Abrebrese. That's his name. He's from Ghana. Judy Tadier. Hey, happy birthday, Judy. Judy is the sister of former councillor for Northern Port of Spain, Alvin Narain. Judy travels the world also, and she always shares her pictures and so on. She is a world traveler. Morning, Judy, and happy birthday.
What's her last name?
Tadier.
Yeah. I wonder, when I hear the word Tadier, I always remember Gina. She was one of our beauty queens. Yeah.
Yes. Darren Harriet, Sparkle Sipasad, Del Robinson, they're all celebrating birthday today. Such as, I don't want to ask this question on here, no? Let me ask it in the chat and then get back. Because I'm seeing his birthday is also today. I'm seeing his birthday is also today, but I haven't heard or seen about him in a while. I don't know if I missed something.
What is that, bro?
Sterling tell me I'm mixing up Biggie Irie. Biggie Irie was somebody else, huh?
Yeah, Biggie Irie was different.
Yeah, Peter Ram was a kind of heavy set guy, right? Not so?
Yeah.
Sterling, check your facts. Google Peter Ram and tell me if he's not a kind of heavy set kind of guy.
I think so, but Biggie Irie too was a heavy set guy too. You know?
Biggie Irie was a heavy set guy, but he wasn't East Indian or Douglas. But Peter Ram is, I should say. Yeah. Morning, Sterling Francois. Long time no see. And thanks for continuing to listen. Folks, I hope we trying to avoid the bad news, but when you think it couldn't get worse in Trinidad and Tobago, guess what? Yesterday it got worse, right? And it will probably get worse again, or worse, if that's a word, or more worse, much worse. It'll probably get much worse.
According to a friend of mine, Wusara.
Yeah. I didn't think we'd reach there yesterday. I am so disappointed in the TTPS. So disappointed that they got there yesterday. When they were holding their nerve all the time, I am so disappointed that they reached that stage yesterday. So very disappointed.
But they arrested a lot of persons, or is it just one person that got arrested?
As far as I know, 3 persons were arrested. I saw the videos of 2 being arrested. But I saw on social media they're saying 3. But I saw the videos of Jason Jason X or Jason Alexander, whatever his name is.
Right.
And of course,
that lie down on the ground.
Yeah, and
Right.
of course, Alyssa Phillip is her name? Yeah, I saw that also. But why? After allowing her to read what she had to read, why was she arrested? After a young man clearly just provoking you with language and no obscene and no disrespectful language, you said, let me take him now. What really put TTPS all you gone through? All you really gone through? I mean, I've been saying it, but like all you want to prove it? All you want to prove it to the whole world? My God. And the Prime Minister supporting this? Nah, man, Prime Minister, you ought to be crazy. You have to be crazy.
Well, we live in a crazy time and we live in a crazy world.
No, man.
But I saw when the guy, the video, the guy being arrested, he was apparently, it was just him and one other person at that point in time.
His girlfriend, his wife or whatever. Yeah.
Right, and then he moved on because the guy he was started him to move on. He can't stand up there or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And yeah. But I saw another something with some union people were protesting. Where that was in Port of Spain also.
Union? No, that was an ex-protest down Siparia for the removal of Alderman Victor Roberts.
Oh,
they had a big protest down there too. I didn't see any police though.
Okay, because
we are dividing this place to never come back again, except for when people go privately in the bedroom and do what they have to do. But we are making this place so hateful. So hateful, especially when two protests take place on the same day and you see completely different actions. Why are we doing that?
Yeah, and that is it. So I don't know if maybe they did not have enough police officers to be in Port of Spain and out at the same point in time, because
so Charles, neither one of those protests had the potential for violence. Neither one. The one against Victor Roberts, fine. If the people want to say Victor Roberts need to go, fine, no problem with that. But why if the people want to say justice for Kaya and justice for Joshua, what's wrong with that too? I have seen no effort by anybody in that protest in Port of Spain to be violent.
Yeah, to do anything other than just be there and
say what they have to say.
Say what they have to say, but
my God, man.
This will be to prevent in case it escalates into anything else.
Yeah, so you have police there and you monitor, but what you're confronting people for? People pass in front of the DPP office whole day. So all of a sudden the DPP office, you can't stand up in front of the DPP office.
Such is the life. Anyhow, let's do our good news and come back, and then I'll play a part of that video, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me speak to you heart to heart. When we were younger, life felt like a competition. Who builds first house? Who buys first car? Who sends children abroad? Who wears the biggest asoebi? We were running to prove a point, running to impress people who were not even watching us that closely. But at this stage of life, if you are still trying to prove yourself to everybody, you are already late. Listen carefully. At this age, peace is more valuable than pride. Many people in our generation are tired, not because life was too hard, but because they carried unnecessary battles. Fighting siblings over land, keeping malice for 20 years, trying to win every argument in marriage, competing with neighbors who are also in debt. What exactly are we proving? You see, Nigerian society will always give you pressure. If it is not build house, it is do party. If it is not train children abroad, it is maintain status. Listen to me. But nobody tells you the hidden truth of many people you are trying to impress are struggling silently. That big man you envy, he is battling high blood pressure. That family you admire, they don't talk to each other at home. That successful friend, he cannot sleep without medication. So why are you killing yourself to keep up? At 50, 60, 70 and above, wisdom should speak louder than ego. There are 3 things you must start doing now. First, choose peace over arguments. Not every discussion needs your voice. Not every insult needs your reaction. Some things, just smile and move on. Second, protect your health like wealth. Because the truth is, one hospital bill can humble a lifetime of savings. Walk more, eat wisely, rest well, reduce stress, especially unnecessary family drama. Third, invest in relationships that bring calm, not chaos. At this stage, you don't need many people. You need the right people. People who check on you, people who pray for you, people who don't compete with you. Let me say something that may sound simple, but it is deep. It is deep. A quiet life is not a small life. Some of you are chasing noise when God is offering you peace. That small house with peace inside is better than a mansion filled with tension. That simple life without debt is better than a flashy lifestyle built on pressure. And please, let go of old grudges. If you are still angry about something that happened in 1998, my brother, my sister, free yourself. Bitterness at this age is too expensive. It affects your sleep, your heart, your joy. Forgive, not because they deserve it, but because you deserve peace. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, that's our good news there. A lot of good news in that, you know.
Yeah.
And then correction, you know, really and truly, Peter Ram never won the International Soccer Monarch, no?
He won groovy, man.
No, well, I Biggie Irie won with Nagwe, you know. We're not going home.
You sure Peter Ram didn't win?
No.
Well, boy,
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Wendell, and good morning, Sir Charles. And of course, good morning to all our listeners and viewers, wherever you are, in whatever time zone across the planet. And welcome to the Breakfast Show. You know, you have a choice, and we're glad you chose us. Some good philosophy there in that good news. Choose peace over argument. Not every conversation requires your voice. Not every insult needs an answer. Just move on.
Richard, I've been
friends that just move on, forget them.
Yeah, I know. It's something I struggle with still, sadly, you know, but I've been working on it. But sadly, you know me, I'm always being honest. It's something that I still struggle with. Not with everybody. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah. But it happens because at the end of the day, you're only human, eh? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And human beings react differently in certain times, at certain times.
Yep. No, I mean, there are situations that rile you up, and there are situations that you could feel yourself getting angry and stuff like that. And I know they always say anger is a choice. But some people could really prod you in the direction of that choice. But there are times that I know I'm getting angry, and I know my mind goes in all sorts of directions, and all I do is take a deep breath and say, you know what? In the larger scheme of life, this really is irrelevant.
Richard, sometimes what I tend to do is what I do here. Sometimes I go quiet. I take the silent road, and you know, people provoke you into speaking even when you're silent.
Yeah, sometimes.
So that's I normally just shut up, just say nothing. I will say nothing. Yeah. I will not respond. I'll just go quiet and deal with it internally. And then people say, "What? Tell me." And that's where it comes out, because you know, Wendell.
So once you just had to let some things pass, you would feel a surge of emotions at the moment. Just let it go. Take the deep breath and let it go. Peace is so important. Peace is so important.
Very.
You really do want that peace. That okay, not everything has to be a conflict. Not everything has to be an argument. Not everything has to be, combative.
Richard, if I and as I say, I talk my business, I have no. If I could be divorced and separated, live apart, and then had to be living with the same person I divorced still. Trust me, that requires a certain level. People ask me how I do it, and I said, by just trying to avoid saying anything or doing anything. It's been tough, but trust me, I have no choice. Because I'm gonna be paying a lawyer for the rest of my life. You understand? So it's been tough, but sometimes you have to do what you have to do for your own peace. And that's why I jump on a plane. I tell people I jump on a plane every opportunity I get and leave this place. And the TTPS proved yesterday that they just can't handle peace. They love confrontation.
Yeah.
They thrive on it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean that whole issue yesterday with the arrest of, what's her name? Her name is Miss Phillip.
Alyssa Phillip.
Alyssa, right. I mean, I think would have riled a lot of people across the country. And in terms of, we understand why that protest is taking place. We understand why people are upset with the TTPS and the DPP. And some people are upset with the DPP, even though some people intellectually disengage him or the office from the process and link it to whatever the TTP has presented. But people are angry because they are angry with office holders making decisions that are counterintuitive to what we saw. And that's going to rile people up anywhere in the planet. And so, to me, the better choice of the TTPS is just leave it.
Yeah.
It's just to leave it. Because by what you did yesterday, you would have riled up more people now, that they would have been more upset. And the conversation is going to ramp back up again, rather than just allowing people to express their emotions and their disappointment at whatever is happening. And, you know, and well, we saw what plays out.
You know what somebody told me yesterday morning, and I know he's listening, that, you know, this stress that they're putting on this young lady and some of these other people, these people are stress kills, you know. I don't know if people know that. When you're stressed and when things are on your mind consistently, especially the way it's going to play out now on Miss Seeley's mind, right? And imagine if she's in a condition where she is, I don't know if it's paralyzed. I don't know what condition she is in medically, but clearly she has been injured. She collected 4 bullets, right? You can imagine the stress that young lady's under. I hope they take good care of her wherever she is, you know. And she is able to survive this.
But she may be more focused on her health concerns rather than whatever the TTPS is saying at this point.
But I hope so.
She may react to it. She may have heard it, obviously, because she responded and she said something along the lines that she's never had a gun in her life and stuff like that. But the whole scenario has been botched from day one. And botched mainly by the TTPS.
Yes.
In terms of their communication of the incident, then the video came out, and even the commissioner of police was, you know, implicated in that botched version of what took place. And it's just, you know, and the Prime Minister making some statement yesterday about where would all of these grifters. When I don't know if she's not understanding that this is a result. I don't know if like her legal training has just gone out the window, and if this is a result of people reacting to what they see as an injustice. And there is a way to deal with it in terms of managing that kind of frustration with the systems. And saying things like that does not help. I don't know if she said it verbally or if it was another statement. I just read it. And if it is in fact her words, there is an obvious disconnect to what is happening in the society and what your ego tells you as a leader in terms of what you think is appropriate to say.
Yeah, you're putting your entire government at risk, in my humble opinion. That's what you're doing. You're putting people who probably do not support what's going on. I'm sure you have ministers or members of your party who do not support what's going on. Why are you putting them under that kind of pressure? Because people will watch them and start. You never know how people are going to react. So don't do that.
I don't know, but Trinidadians may quarrel, but they don't go beyond that. And so I don't know that they're at risk. I don't know that
Richard, we have gone beyond that before.
I know. I don't agree with you at risk. I think 4 years from now, if this continues to be an issue, which may be unlikely, knowing Trinidad and Tobago's memory for issues, but if this continues to be an issue 4 years later, then your risk is at the polls. That's where your risk lies. But in terms of managing an issue, leadership requires how you manage issues, and sometimes it's just better to let the main players play out. If you have to say something, be diplomatic about what you say. Not everything has to be combative and a stance that is, argumentative and combative, which seems to be if it's not her, whoever is writing her statements. And so it just seems, disconnected, which is like, I think what the Express editorial said yesterday. There seems to be a disconnect to how the society feels about the issue. And there will be apologists for the TTPS. I'm not saying no. And that's fine if you want to be an apologist for the TTPS in terms of how that situation was handled. But for a lot of the citizens in Trinidad and Tobago, it was concerning and is concerning. And that's why you've seen all of these memes coming up. Kaya Siri is now being blamed for the attempted coup in 1990, and all sorts of memes are going to come out now. And if things like that,
blamed for the missing child in Tobago too.
If things like that are happening, it means, first of all, as an institution, it indicates crumbling confidence in your integrity and efficacy. That's what it means. It means you're now being ridiculed. How do you come back from that? You don't come back from that by doing what you do. I don't know if they have a strategy planning at all in the DPS from a PR perspective at all. I don't know. I don't know if their PR machinery is on mute. But you must, as a strategy session, even as the Commissioner of Police, understand that the ridiculing and the kind of memes coming out and how much the society is looking very jadedly at the TTPS and to a lesser extent the DPP's office has to be a PR management issue. How do we navigate these waters? You don't just ignore it.
Yeah. And that's the next thing that's happening, Richard. The TTPS is also putting their officers at risk. When they act like that, people get to dislike police for every little reason. Now people are challenging police. Look at that video down, is it Marabella or somewhere, with the couple? I mean, and the police officer gun.
That was in Arima. That was
Arima. It's Arima, right, the Arima Magistrates Court, right, by the Arima Magistrate Court. Look at that video. People are now openly challenging the police with whatever. They anytime they see police coming their way, they feel intimidated. They feel that this is not going to go well. So a couple that probably would not have done that did it yesterday. They have been arrested. You know what I mean? A gunshot went off. It could have ended up anywhere. You understand? It was reported to come from the gun of the female officer. Look at where we reach in.
Yeah, well, guys, so let's see if we can grieve Ministry quickly because we'll just go here.
Yeah, I know. There's a lot of chat in the stream. I can't read all, but I'll certainly try to read it. Yeah, so let's go to Richard. Blessed morning. That's from Robert Allen. He was at 11:55. Ava Smith is also sending happy birthday to her granddaughter Akela. Happy birthday, Akela, from your granny Ava, and of course from us on the Breakfast Show.
Happy birthday.
Felix Kazo, who clearly is a fan of Dr. Job. He says, good Thursday morning. Dr. Job always said it that way. Margaret Thomas, blessed Thursday. Lincoln Foxtrot, good morning. Deborah Noel Surrett. Odell Guy. Odell, sorry I missed you yesterday. Odell was by me yesterday. By Rumbox, that is. Pamela O'Connor, Maria Cellier is also sending happy birthday to her daughter, Sharon Clark. So happy birthday, Sharon.
Happy birthday. Some birthdays today.
All right. And Diane
I'm sure
Payne.
some lower down too. Yeah.
Sorry,
Good morning.
Richard.
No, go on.
Yeah. Michael Cadet, good morning, guys. Norris Ferguson, Kenny in Harlem. Kurt Hope from Nashville, Tennessee, who I think is in Trinidad. Marcia Rock from Orlando. Marlon Motley from North Valsayn. Okay. Victor Balan, you see I waited as per protocol, right? But you didn't say it this morning. Victor Philip, good morning. Apologize.
Is that what you meant? Yeah. I was so busy watching, trying to keep up with you. And,
I know the triggers. Marlon is one. I know. Carl Guevara, blessed morning. Debbie Modest. Empress Reyes Lal also says good morning, people. Boy Bidesi from Debe. Empress Lal says I'm waiting. Okay. Prabha Ramdial, Manuela Peters, Merle McCormy. Wayne Ramsey from Fort Lauderdale, Nicholas Link, Victor Philip, amen. Joyce Philip, top of the morning. Carol is singing Empress Resla, long time in here, that song for true. Michael Eastman, Alistair Hart says, good morning, guys. Yesterday we got an example of how Zoso will work. Sherwin and Juliet Kerr says, good morning. Will Cams, Lester Cragwell, Ingrid from Tucson, Arizona. Sankofa says, bountiful graces. Cynthia says, good morning, Sir Charles. Have a wonderful day. Only Sir Charles is not alone on the show, you know, Cynthia. Don't get tapped, you know. Will Cams, good morning, Trinidad Tobago. Shame on the TTPS and by extension, the government. Trinidad Margot, Ella Rizan, good morning. Red Fire, Felix Kazo, evil triumphs when good men do nothing. Empress Reyes, it's the system put in place for singers only when they make it worldwide. David McCarthy says, top of the morning to the terrific trio. Cynthia with all, okay, she fixed it, Cynthia, with all the other hosts and chatters. Brent Hackshaw, good morning. Claire Lendor Rollins, Lester Cragwell, you are correct. Wendell, I don't know what that was about. Cathy Ann Charles, good morning. Special morning to Arlene and Stephen. Joyce Phillip, it's Biggie that sing this song. Okay, I'm hearing now it's Biggie who won the Groovy Monarch, not Peter Ram. My apologies if I was wrong. Arlene Lewis, blessed morning. Lincoln Foxtrot, the downfall of the government. Kazim Mohammed, first they came. Yeah, we know that. TTPS behaving like they in the Epstein files. Magic says Grand Rising. Joe, exactly, the PM is supporting this. Yeah, I don't know why. Anyway, well, we know why. The young lady's mother was arrested also. Oh, so that's where the third arrest came in. Thanks for that, Felix. Diana Hamill, good morning, everyone. TT looking bad at the moment. I hope this dark cloud lifts soon. Joe, yes, we are polarizing the place further. Lincoln, anyone notice the lack of equipment in the Jason arrest? Lack of equipment. What does that mean? Wilcombs will have been divided for quite some time. Alistair Wendell, they marched in front of the police station in Ziparia. Yeah, and nothing wrong with that. It was a peaceful march, and they made their voices heard. And Victor Roberts also made his voice heard. Wilcom says, Sir Charles, stop making excuse. Sir Charles, they were different times. Really, Sir Charles? No. Okay, Sir Charles, apparently this was in relation to something you said.
I don't know.
Well, it done gone. Apollonius, too much wickedness under this present UNC government, but God looks at everything. But you know what? I listened to a prayer group with police officers. And I ain't hearing them praying anyway. Put it out on there, let's say it's Robert Taylor, good morning. Melchizedek, Joyce Phillip, amen to that good news. Scorpion Pepper, good morning, sunshines. Showing Biggie Irie, wait, not Peter Ram. Thanks for that, showing. Merle McCormy, wow, what a wonderful good news video. Victor Phillips said move on. Why? Because you are a supporter of the UNC. Why we must move on? This is not about the UNC either, you know, Victor Philip.
Maybe he's saying move on generally when you have stress, Wendell, in connection to the good news video.
Yeah.
Okay, Richard.
Yeah, it could be.
You're right up yourself there, boy.
Okay,
Somebody to be riding up.
Okay, Richard. I'm moving on. So I'm moving on. Let DC take what you said. I'm moving on. And Noel, good morning, guys. Well, you don't know these people, you know. I know them better than all you. We needed that good news. It's tough with everything going on. Margarita Chow says good morning. Joe said, according to the government, the police can't do no wrong. That's the message it's sending. That is really troubling. Indeed, it is. Eva Smith is repeating her birthday greetings. Julia Samantha, good morning. Let me get some new people here. Lester Cragwell, this all started with the COP misleading the nation, correct? Joe is chatting a lot. Empress Rezlal, all right, a lot of re-chatters here.
Yeah, there's a lot of chatting going on.
Yeah. Ron DeSantis Jr. says good morning. Saw one so-called protester wearing a keffiyeh scarf in the sweltering truck. He was wearing a scarf that I saw in Egypt, actually. All right. Morning, Mrs. R. How you going? How you like how the TTPS going? Good?
Good morning, Mrs. R.
Oh, he said Lincoln is saying now it had 6 police officers there and none of them had a handcuff. They were mostly like from some special unit, I think. Good morning from CJ and Diana Hamill. Wow, Wendell. What's he wow about? Carla Hercules, good morning.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what they arrested Jason De Silva for.
Nobody's sure.
Yeah.
You saw the video, right? So Charles have all the videos. You can show them.
Yeah, I saw Jason De Silva saying something in the distance.
I don't know. The way we're going, we might get it tomorrow.
That's all right. We'll get it though. Because remember, not everybody would be on social media seeing these things, and I don't think mainstream news showed all.
Yeah. No, you're right. I happened to see it because people intentionally told me to look at it, and my phone would have brought it up.
Right, now they finished with the greeting?
Yes, Sir Charles, I'm finished.
Right.
Except for Ruji. Whoever Ruji is, Ruji just came in. Blessed morning, everyone. Keep up the great job, Wendell, Sir Charles, and Richard. That's a new name also, Ruji.
Yeah. So, Kenton Lamatel, good morning. Captain Ron in Orlando, good morning. Archbishop Ashton Clark, Canada, good morning. Reverend Bishop, good morning to you. Victor Phillips, he's here also. Brenda in Pina, Alcina in Arima. Miss St. Augustine, much love and blessings to you this morning. Frank in Aruka. Mr. Billy Powder Magazine. Mr. Billy, we don't have any phone calls right now. So do not call the line. Mr. Beeps in PT Valley, good morning. Rena Buru Jennings also down in the West. Terry Ann Peters in Mova. CJ in New York. Callan and Kelly out there in Caranage. Peter Wilson, good morning to you. And Pauline also, good morning. 17 minutes before 7 o'clock on the breakfast show. We go for that break. We're coming back.
It's the Grand Clearance Sale at Fats International Styles. Everything must go. All clothing, only $100. Sneakers, just $200. Yes, you heard right. Massive deals, unbeatable prices while stocks last. Visit Fats International Styles Arima opposite Castro's restaurant. Don't miss your chance to grab the hottest styles at crazy clearance prices. Hurry in today because once it's gone, it's gone.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Day Bay, 95 Circular Road, Vista Bella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Pinal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2 Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
Scandal in
Cipriani College, we are back. The box office smash Scandal in Citrus is back. We are back because you demanded it for 3 nights only. Friday the 29th and Saturday the 30th of May at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 31st at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available now at usual outlets and online. Scandal in Citrus, we are back at Cipriani College. See it again or see it for the first time. Don't miss it.
Scandal in Cedrus.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Two Fat Fellas celebrates its final performance in San Fernando, Naparima Bowl.
One night, one show, Saturday, May 30th, night of the holiday.
Two Fat Fellas stars, Cecilia, Penny, Kevon, Zachary, Raisha, and Rody.
The ridiculously funny comedy is at Naparima Bowl for one final night.
Tickets available at Dormont Shoe Store, Long Circular Mall, Anthony's Floral Val Park, K-Square Stores, Eastgate Mall, Brentwood Plaza, C3 Center, Athletes by the Park, Southern Food Basket, Coffee Street, and Point Fortin. Naparima Bowl box office opens on Thursday the 28th of May. Also online at islandetickets.com. For more info, text or call 683-0356 or 683-4843.
Check out our early bird special online at Island E-Tickets. Two Fat Fellas.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
And just to make sure that we keep on track, since Sir Charles is ensuring that we do, we'll go straight into our Did You Know?
We don't have headlines?
You fall for that, boy. You really fall for that, boy, Sir Charles. You don't know the demon you will kill me. Well, let me take that back. He's not a demon. He's such a cherubic angelic person.
They play the wrong thing at the wrong time. I feel that he really forget the weather.
No. Richard is focused. You see like how sometimes we get things. Richard is focused at the end of the day. That people are going to smile when they're done, People are going to laugh when they're done, Richard is focused on that all his life,
Anyhow, let's do the headlines.
Like the Twin Man, Beauty Culture, and Shilma Paul who joined us, all right? So the Express online news is Kaya willing to return. Kaya, take my stupid advice. Do not come back here. Get yourself better. Do not come back here. Focus on your health, focus on your child, and focus on your life. Forget Trinidad and Tobago. Because you see little Angela who missing, they go charge you for that. You see WPC Eversley who get killed in the station, they go charge you for that. You stay and focus on yourself. Shippers charging US dollars for local fees. That's down at Cougar Point visas. Face your fears despite missing several key players. That's cricket, of course. Record-breaking Romeo dominates Whitsuntide. You know how long I hear that word, Whitsuntide? Remember we had a holiday called Whit Sunday or Whit Monday? Whit Monday, I think. Mm-hmm. Guevaro's brothel case back in court. What is this? Who Guevaro? The commissioner?
The commissioner.
He have a case with a brothel?
Well, the way the headlines is, they will swear it is that the man owned a brothel. The man was probably arresting somebody with a brothel.
Is that what happened?
Yes.
So Guevara was down in a brothel, is that what you're saying?
No, well, the story is that the people he arrested, either they were running an illegal brothel or something like that.
There's a legal brothel?
Well, whatever.
Yes, where there's an illegal brothel?
They were running a brothel.
No, so it's an illegal brothel as distinguished from a legal one.
From a legal brothel, exactly. Because they just say brothel, so you have to assume it legal.
Okay. All right,
brothel is almost becoming an archaic word. It's on the verge. Brothel.
It's like a hotel.
Yeah, it's like brothel.
You know, in France, they have these things called apart hotel. You know, it's not a whole hotel. They call it apart hotel. That's the official name for it. You know, the tiny. Anyway,
go ahead.
Teen with pregnant girlfriend crushed whilst collecting garbage. You saw this video? Oh Lord, that's a horrible video.
No, I didn't see it, and I don't want to see it.
Yeah, don't look at it. They blurred it, thankfully, but it's an awful video of a young man picking up garbage, and he jumped off the back of the truck while the truck was reversing. He jumped off the back of the truck to collect garbage, to pick up a bag, and the truck rolled. It's an awful video. Adrian was tortured and strangled, and make Eid ul-Adha a public holiday. Of course, we spoke about that yesterday. Those are all trending stories in today's Express Online.
Then the Orishas also want a holiday?
Yes.
I think bring on all the holidays. We have no objection.
None.
Once you say holiday and you have an excuse, we there with you. So
we there with you. You're right.
And people say, productivity and all that. I think we're not on that bandwagon.
Yeah.
Anyway, Trinidad and Tobago Guardian for this morning. Kaya appeals for time, insists she's no fugitive, but says she needs to complete medical treatment abroad. So that's the headline on the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian. It's the first story that comes up, actually. Gonzalez officer holders must end cloak of secrecy. Protest over Samru case ends in arrest and standoff with police. Muslims celebrate Eid ul-Adha with prayer and gratitude, and Farley again slams officers' poor response in Angelo case. Dabisi joins Agostini board, which I mentioned yesterday. Quarry Group has questions for ministry. Government issues holdover letters to 25 mineral operators. Tourism sector must act faster, says stakeholder. And auto mechanic announces partnership with MIC. Sorry. Big guns set to descend on Caribbean as CPL I-Star Studded 2026 edition in terms of some sports. Garbage worker crushed to death by truck in Kelly Village. West Indies confident of winning 5th straight ODI series at home, says Sammy. And Julian Sparks Spartans TT to impressive wins in North Zone basketball, and TNT to host historic Pakistan Test Series as CWI unveils home schedule. So all of that is in the Trinidad and Tobago Guardian today.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. So now we'll get into our Did You Know segment.
The reason your food doesn't rot and your medicine stays cold isn't a miracle of white industry. It's the genius of a black orphan with a 6th grade education who outthought the entire world for $6. This is the unfiltered truth about Frederick McKinley Jones. Born in 1893 and orphaned by age 9, Jones was a man the system wanted to be invisible. He dropped out of school in the 6th grade, but while the world saw a laborer, Jones saw a puzzle. He taught himself physics. No, he taught himself mechanics. He taught himself electrical engineering while working in a garage. The turning point came in 1938. His boss made a $6 bet that Jones couldn't find a way to stop meat from rotting on long truck hauls. At the time, They were using ice, which melted and ruined everything. Jones didn't just win the bet, he changed the biology of the human race. He went to the library, studied refrigeration science for 30 days, and built the world's first successful mobile refrigeration unit. That invention became Thermo King. Before him, you ate what was in your backyard. After him, you could have fresh fruit in the winter. He literally created the modern supermarket and the global food chain. But it wasn't just about groceries. During World War II, his portable cooling units were shipped to the front lines. They were used to preserve life-saving blood plasma and medicine. Thousands of Allied soldiers are alive today because a black man with a 6th grade education knew how to keep things cool. The unfiltered reality? Jones held over 60 patents, from portable X-ray machines to cinema sound equipment. Yet he was a man who was often barred from racing the very cars he engineered because of his skin color. He was the king of cool in a country that was still trying to keep him in the heat of Jim Crow. He was the first African American to receive the National Medal of Technology, but most people can't name him. We know the name of the man who made the light bulb, but we don't know the man who kept us from starving. I want to hear from you in the comments. Is the reason we don't know Frederick McKinley Jones's name because his genius proves that formal education isn't the only way to build a world? Or is it because the system is terrified to admit how much of the modern world was built by an orphan they tried to ignore?
I was reading an article, and this is to the credit of the government, this UNT administration, that I feel a little enthused that they have some really good strategists in terms of planning where the Trinidad and Tobago economy goes. I don't know how it's going to work out, but at least the PR is happening. And it was an article on Sekou Allen, who is the CEO of Global Trinidad and Tobago. And of course, Global Trinidad and Tobago is kind of the umbrella organization that brings in a lot of the export-driven and investment parts of the Trinidad and Tobago economy, whether it be the creative side, the tourism side, etc., which we have always talked about over the years. What is brand Trinidad and Tobago? And I think Global Trinidad and Tobago is an attempt to stamp what the brand Trinidad and Tobago is. And the article that I read yesterday was a speech he had made where they had looked at all of the abandoned, and maybe paraphrasing it, anybody else who read the article could correct me, but a lot of the abandoned properties and projects across the country, they've actually now collated a list. And they're now going to use these properties in different levels of whatever they were in to start channeling them as assets that the state owns, and how they can monetize those assets in terms of investment and stuff like that. And it was an interesting article, and I don't know if you know, Sekou Allen was also featured on CNN earlier in this month as part of that whole Global Trinidad and Tobago and navigating how do we use the relationships with Africa, which has powerful emerging economies now, and of course Latin America, and where Trinidad and Tobago is placed in building these relationships to the benefit of Trinidad and Tobago and Global Trinidad and Tobago. So that's some really good things happening there. At least
is that under Minister Kema Maharaj?
It probably is, because it deals with trade and investment and stuff like that. So in terms of this administration, to me, obviously they're paying a lot of attention to strategizing how do you get investment, because they're planning to get US $9 billion in investment over the next 3 to 4 years, I think. So it made for interesting reading. So I mean, kudos to the government for having some sort of plan that they're implementing.
Yeah, he is also a minister that I would be surprised if he fails at that ministry, because of his background.
It's not a ministry. He's the CEO. He's not a minister.
No, I'm saying in terms of Kema Maharaj.
Oh, okay.
He's a minister that I would be surprised if he fails at that ministry also.
Yeah.
Beyond
the issue with the police and all of that. But
Yeah.
There's some other stuff happening. And they also translate it into the amount of jobs that will be created and stuff like that. But anyway, I just thought I should mention that because I thought the article would be an interesting read. Yeah.
Excellent. Let's see if we can take a couple of calls as we go up to 7 o'clock on the morning. Paul, caller, good morning.
Well, good morning, gentlemen. 2 points I would like to raise. One, what I was texting about Wendell, with the situation with Jason De Silva, you have at least 4 uniformed police officers. At some point, they decided to arrest a man. And between all 4 of them, none of them had a handcuff. Not one single one of them was armed with a handcuff. All of them are gone, I'm sure. Right? And they keep highlighting, every time I see police interaction, it highlights the incompetence of police. You arrested the man. You did not put a handcuff on him. You did not search him and proceeded to put him in a vehicle without finding out that this man have a gun on him, if he have a thing. I don't know why he didn't have a 25 cents and hit them at 25 cents and knock them out in the car day. Because I don't understand the level of incompetence that we keep seeing in the TTPS. I always keep our police to the standard, to the international standard. International standard practice, you must search, you must handcuff the person you're arresting, and you must search them thoroughly before you put them in a vehicle. We don't know why he didn't knock them out without 25 cents and
you know, coming to think of it, I actually reflected on the video. No, you're right.
Yeah, because his hands was behind his back with no arm.
Yeah. And they just put him in the car.
The next incident now is the incident with the arrest of the couple in San Fernando. That was not shot, eh? That was a negligent discharge.
Yes.
No, that was an Arima, not San Fernando.
Arima Magistrate Court.
Sorry, Arima. That was an ND. And in the scope of an ND, where 2 people just get killed, one is maimed and one is dead. Somebody, a police officer who's supposed to be trained fire ND, I will cost too. What the hell are you doing?
Yes, especially if his wife could have been hit.
And his wife could have been hit. You look up the man, and after you fire ND, I'm waiting for the police commissioner to tell us. Because the police officer fired a shot in a built-up area. That's the same charge they charge here for.
Yeah.
That's one of the charges they charge here for.
And they arrest him for obscene language. How much time we talk about that here?
Obscene language. The incompetence of police keep folding. They're not doubling or nothing. It just keeps magnifying.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thanks very much, Lincoln. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning, caller. Morning,
I
Zina.
just called right this. Hello?
Yeah, go ahead, Zina.
Yes, I'm saying right now, I want to send a special good morning to Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley. Boy, we were living in such peace and we didn't know. Oh my Jesus. Hear what? Dr. Rowley, you and your family, I thank you all. We really, I don't know if we had this, what was the bill they were trying to pass?
Zoso.
Stand your ground.
Zoso. If they had passed Zoso, what would have happened to us here in this Trinidad?
Police is police regardless of laws, you know.
Zoso.
Yeah, but Zoso is a smaller version of what is happening now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I can't understand what I am seeing, you know, and when then I now start to feel like you. I feel like I could go away from this place, far away from here. I now start to feel like you. We're not living there. There's no day we could get up and say, well, we're living in paradise and try to go by the beach. Who could go to your work peacefully and enjoy your day and go home? Only a lot of bacchanal and advantage and wickedness.
And you can't do
that, you know. You can't just go to the beach.
Still do all those things.
And disengage from what is happening if you wanted to. You can. Has beauty beyond what man did.
Yeah.
You know.
All right, our poll is up, people. Are you surprised at the action taken by the TTPS in arresting the protesters? Yes, Is 1, 2, you vote no. All right? All right. No, you vote 2. Yes, you vote 1. Are you surprised at the action taken by the TTPS? I have to say, Sir Charles, the graphics on this looks absolutely beautiful on the TV screen. Wow. I would imagine it looking so for everybody. You're going past Richard here. You're going past Richard here. Scandalous. This car look like this.
People just go past me.
People, we are going for the news at 5 minutes past the hour, 7 o'clock. And when we come back on the other side, we'll take a couple of your calls on the poll. And coming up at 7:30, we're talking with Kurt Allen. Yeah.
Well, look, the policeman arrested in the photos, Wendell.
Yes. So Sir Charles have the policeman being arrested. I like that.
Yeah.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on Net Radio and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. The central bank has met with Tobago business representatives as part of ongoing consultations on the economy and financial services. The meeting in Scarborough focused on issues including foreign exchange access, banking services, and financial literacy. Business leaders also called for more economic data to help Tobago companies better understand their contribution to the national economy. Discussions further covered proposed payment system reforms, including the CARICOM payment settlement system and Trinidad and Tobago's instant payment system. The central bank says feedback from Tobago stakeholders will help shape future financial policies and its strategic plan for 2026 to 2031. 3 government ministers toured the USS Nimitz, one of the United States Navy's nuclear-powered supercarriers, during a visit to international waters north of Venezuela on Monday. Defense Minister Wayne Sturge, Works Minister Gillian John, and Legal Affairs Minister Saddam Hussein were invited by the U.S. Embassy and Southern Command for the visit aboard the aircraft carrier. The delegation traveled on a U.S. military aircraft and observed flight operations, including aircraft takeoffs and landings aboard the vessel. Sturge described the experience as impressive and revealed he met 6 Trinidadians serving on the carrier, later arranging for doubles to be sent to them after the visit. The Defense Ministry says the tour forms part of ongoing cooperation between Trinidad and Tobago and the United States on regional security and maritime partnerships. A 19-year-old sanitation worker and father-to-be has died after being crushed beneath a garbage truck in Kelly Village, Coroni. Dead is Deshun Joseph of Claxton Bay. Relatives say his girlfriend is 4 months pregnant with their child. Police said the incident happened around 9:12 Tuesday night while Joseph was working alongside a garbage truck. Investigators said CCTV footage showed the truck reversing when Joseph got off the moving vehicle to collect a bag of garbage nearby. Moments later, he was struck and pulled beneath the truck. Relatives said they were initially given conflicting accounts about the tragedy before later viewing CCTV footage of the incident. Police investigations are continuing, and the truck driver could face charges. The Water and Sewerage Authority is urging residents in several Northeast communities to conserve water, as ongoing dry weather continues to reduce production at the North Oropouche Water Treatment Plant. WASA said output at the facility has dropped from 20 million to 16 million gallons per day, affecting areas including Aruca, Maloney, Arima, La Horqueta, Sangre Grande, and Cumuto Manzanilla. The authority acknowledged complaints from residents experiencing little or no pipe-borne water and said teams are rotating supply schedules to manage the reduced output. WASA said operational adjustments are in place, but warned that normal service depends on sustained rainfall. Residents are also being encouraged to avoid unnecessary water use and monitor WASA's official platforms for updates. Trinidad and Tobago abstained from supporting a CARICOM foreign affairs statement condemning ongoing measures against Cuba and warning against possible military aggression toward the island. In the statement, CARICOM's Council for Foreign and Community Relations expressed concern over worsening economic and financial restrictions on Cuba, saying they have deepened hardship for the Cuban people and affected CARICOM nationals living and studying there. The Council also defended Cuba's right to import fuel and warned that any military action against the country could destabilize the wider Caribbean region. However, the statement noted that Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana reserved their positions on the matter, distancing themselves from the regional stance. Finally, global car makers are facing growing pressure as Chinese manufacturers continue to outpace US, European, and Japanese rivals in electric vehicles, batteries, software, and vehicle design. At Auto China 2026, foreign executives reportedly expressed concern over the speed of innovation and automation inside Chinese factories, with Honda's CEO admitting traditional car makers are struggling to keep up. Industry analysts say the competition is no longer just about electric vehicles, but about who leads the next generation of mobility technology. Chinese companies like Xiaomi, Huawei, and BYD are integrating cars with software, smart devices, and ultra-fast charging systems, while firms like XPeng are also investing in robotics and flying cars. Foreign brands have seen their share of China's car market fall sharply in recent years, and many are now partnering with Chinese companies to access advanced software and EV technology. Analysts warn the global auto industry's center of gravity is increasingly shifting toward China. And that is Net Radio News at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Your mid-morning just got better. Join Sir Charles for the mid-morning mix and mingle, where good music, real talk, health, and family matters come together, and your voice is heard. Whether you're at work, on the go, or just taking a break, this is the perfect mix to keep you engaged, informed, and entertained. The mid-morning mix and mingle, weekdays, 9 a.m. to 12 noon on New Era TT Radio, Net Radio.
Morning vibes, fresh energy. This is the Net Radio Breakfast Show.
Before you go, before you pack and run away, I wanna fly. Before you go, before you think you'll get away. Well, you began in the Senate of opposition and waited your turn. Then with Manning as your PM giving directions, you studied and learned. You paid attention to Robbie Pandey Kamla, observed there all their mistakes. So there is not one excuse that you can make, none that we can take. Cause we give you a turn to ride in DPM1 motor car. You change the whole interior with propaganda, it's smelling drunk, sour. We gave you 2 turns as PM of this nation, so now it's my Creole obligation to give you a turn before your resignation. Remember, it's we who call Eric Duffy, we call Chambers Duncy, it's your turn now. It's we who beat Robbie like a Bobali, it's your turn now. So if we say you are a bully, don't take it personally. Your turn now. Go tell your friends and your family, it comes with the duty. It's your turn now. Do not believe that we are afraid to call a donkey a ass or a spade a spade. We will pepper you like a chow. Dr. Row, it's your turn now. Before you go, before you pack and run away, I wonder what Penny and Amory have to say. Before you go, before you think you'll get away, you tell the world you go lock Calda heart up. Once you get the vote. You said the buck is going to stop at the TP top when you took your oath. The airport scandal section 34 email gate. Like a raging bull, you declared war and we took the bait. But since you get your turn, Nobody at jail for corruption. Since you get your turn, no members of the opposition in prison. Since you get 2 turns, you promise to set things right. White collar crime you vow to fight. What is a setback with no fight? Remember, it's we who call Pandy racist. We even call him rapists. Your turn now. Silver Fox end up in jail till he come out looking frail. Your turn now. So if we say your government represents the 1%, your turn now. Where the rich get richer, the poor man in the gutter. Your turn now. Do not believe your powers of Lekato could overthrow the power of a Calypso. The ancestors wouldn't allow. Dr. Rao, your turn now. Before you go, before you pack and run away. So much unemployment, but still you raise your pay. Before you go, before you think you'll get away. I remember deceased Patrick Manning named you Rot, the Rottweiler, because every car that passed around the corner, you chased down the tire. Political battles that came your way, you stood up and fought. And when they came with their slander and their hearsay, you took them to court. So we gave you a turn to guard, protect and defend the treasury. We give you a turn to secure we national security. That's right. We give you 2 turns to be the mastermind. Reduce violence and crime, but murder's at the highest of all times. Remember, it's we who call Manning emperor. We call him a dictator. Your turn now. Retreat patos like a louse. Kick him out by Lise house. It's your turn now. So if we say you are a puppet, you're lying in him but pocket. Your turn now. And with your shining bald head, we find your dread and a natty dread. Your turn. Well, do not believe because you brought Manning down. You could do the same with the Calypso crown and then act holier than thou. Dr. Rowe, your turn now. Before you go, before you pack and run away. It's relevant behavior, just as Patrick said. Before you go, before you think you'll get away. After 45 years of public service, you deserve arrest. So you anointed as you're that too young to try with the mess. Now we hearing that your support base having real problem. Next election, they voting for a caring face to sit at the helm. Cause you failed in your turn to diversify the economy. Yes, you failed in your turn to create a real creative industry. You failed in your turn to be a superstar. Legalize marijuana and make Fitzgerald the line minister. Remember, it's we who call Kamala Trunka. She's smoking marijuana. Your turn now. Well, you say what's that? You talk about she cap. Meow! So if she talk about your father and the young thing that you slaughter. But wait, did I mention your $1 million pension?
Well, it just got better. You're locked into NETT Radio Breakfast Show. Feeling ready with the best music and
I wanna fly before you go.
Before you pack and run away, your turn now. That's the music of Kurt Allen, and of course he'll be our guest coming up in a short here on NETT Radio. And of course that is where you are right about now, NETT Radio. Heartbeat of the Caribbean, taking you above and beyond. Good morning once again to the Anthem crew. Those of you that came in very early when the numbers just start to roll up. So good morning to you people. Good morning to the folks on Gael Caribbean TV and all around the globe, people who are streaming. Thank you very much much for being here on the platform. The various platforms of that too, because we are multi-platform in the morning, right? So remember when we come off of the feed at Gaia and of course the social media feeds, as we get closer to 9 o'clock, you can come across to NETT Radio TT, NETT Radio TT.com. Of course, you can listen to us all day and every day. Also, NETT Radio Trinidad, that is our handle to all our social media pages and streaming platforms. So if you are streaming on TuneIn, Radio Garden, Simple Radio, online radio box, any one of them, MyTuner, you are able to just put in NETT Radio Trinidad, and of course you're able to get us, right? Don't forget to visit our social media pages, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, which we are trying to grow the TikTok numbers right about now, so please follow the TikTok page, right?
Before you go, before you think you'll get away.
So our morning poll is up, people. Yeah, do some correction in the morning poll. That's when you're hustling.
You get the vote. You said the buck is going to stop at the TP top when you took your oath. The airport scandal section 34.
Right, so we are asking you this morning, are you surprised at the actions taken by the TTPS in arresting the protesters yesterday? Are you surprised? Yes, if you are surprised, you're voting 1. No, if you are not surprised, you expected that. If you're voting 2, all right? We'll tell you how you voted in a short. Also, while you're on our social media pages, on our website, look for our donate support button. And of course, hit it and support us so you can keep us outside here, all right?
We call Panday racist. We even call him rapists.
We will be back shortly to tell you how you voted.
Cipriani College, we are back. The box office smash Scandal in Citrus is back. We are back because you demanded it for 3 nights only. Friday the 29th and Saturday the 30th of May at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 31st at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available now at usual outlets and online. Scandal in Citrus, we are back at Cipriani College. See it again or see it for the first time. Don't miss it.
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Daybay, 95 Circular Road, Vistabella, Docks Ranch Light Pole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2, Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist, Dr. Raj Ramnanan, for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Two Fat Fellas celebrates its final performance in San Fernando, Naparima Bowl.
One night, one show, Saturday, May 30th, night of the holiday.
Two Fat Fellas stars, Cecilia, Penny, Kevon, Zachary, Rachel, and Rody.
The ridiculously funny comedy is at Naparima Bowl for one final night.
Tickets available at Dormont Shoe Store, Long Circular Mall, Anthony's Floral Val Park, K-Square Stores, Eastgate Mall, Brentwood Plaza, C3 Center, Athletes by the Park, Southern Food Basket, Coffee Street, and Point Fortin. Naparima Bowl box office opens on Thursday, the 28th of May. Also online at islandtickets.com. For more info, text or call 683-0356 or 683-4843.
Check out our early bird special online at Island E-Tickets. Two fat fellas.
It's the Grand Clearance Sale at Fats International Styles. Everything must go. All clothing, only $100. Sneakers, just $200. Yes, you heard right. Massive deals, unbeatable prices while stocks last. Visit Fats International Styles Arima opposite Castro's restaurant. Don't miss your chance to grab the hottest styles at crazy clearance prices. Hurry in today because once it's gone, it's gone.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Yes, so we are back, people, inside of the 7 o'clock hour. And of course, you are on to the breakfast show on NETT Radio. Yeah, I had to go and fix the graphics on the poll.
Why?
Nah, because I didn't in hustling, I didn't realize what Richard was talking about. So I had to fix that.
No, I don't think anybody have a problem with that.
That is right. Right is right. But that's okay.
No, police need to be arresting police. You had it correct.
Yes.
Anyway, I get an echo.
Serious? No, man.
Yeah, I'm echoing back my.
Okay, let me just check and see why.
Yeah.
I thought.
Right, it's gone. Yeah. All right, so we had lots of votes on this poll again. Our poll, of course, is: are you surprised at the action taken by the TTPS in arresting the protesters? Of course, a lot of comments on this all over social media. They are commenting. I'm very, very heartened by the posts of Renee Cummins. Of course, Renee is well known as a criminologist. She's been posting, a lot about these incidents since it has come. Renee Cummins, Abeo Jackson. Quite a few people on social media have been posting about it. I'm very heartened by what I read. Cheryl Henry, that was her mother who was holding on to her. All right, you said you cannot understand why the young girl was holding on to her friend. That was her mother, and she was also arrested. All right, apparently, right? Yeah.
All right, so people, we can take a couple of your calls. We'll go through a couple of the comments. We have a few minutes before we gets inside the studio. He's already here with us. So you can call us at 281-1315 or 299-5156 just to deal with the morning poll. You can tell us how you voted, how you saw it yesterday, whether you agree or you disagree. It's always good to hear what you have to say. And now is your time for you to say it, right?
And just a quick correction, Sir Charles, the incident happened in front TNTech office in Arima, not the magistrate's court, right? It was TNTech office. As a matter of fact, that footage that you're seeing is actually came from the body cam of a TNTech police officer. Yes,
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I suppose the regular police didn't have on anybody cam. Even yesterday we were looking while the riot police come out. I said, hey, let me see what's going on here. Nothing.
Yeah.
Them just okay, you know, and them just all they can say, what? We ain't putting on nobody cameras for you until the only person in the police service was just put on that is Brent Batson.
Yes, he's the only one we know wears one.
Yeah. All right. Caller, good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Listen, you see that thing with that match? I'm so fed up of it, that, Lord. Anyway, that incident outside T and Tech.
No, we didn't with the poll, you know. We didn't with the
poll.
I
thought you opened.
No, we're not. We're talking about basically the poll and what happened yesterday.
So you could talk about the match. You could talk about it. So that focuses on the poll.
What?
The protests.
The protests.
You have to speak on the protest.
Just on the poll we're dealing with now.
Let me tell you something. From the time I saw people like Fuad Baka, David Abdullah, and some others, I know it was going to turn out like
somebody
that.
Going to get arrested.
The way the police reacted. I say, wow. Yes, my neighbor was telling me, let's go. I said, listen. I say, you see that? I never get arrested in my young days. I'm not about to get arrested in me. And I'm still waiting to get my back pay for the retirees. I don't want to be sitting in no jail cell. Have a blessed day.
Okay, no problem. But that's a good reason not to go anywhere if you want to get locked up. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi, Mr. Grant, good morning.
How are you going? How are you going?
Mr. Grant, we are all right. How are you?
Well, I just struggling with the wife. I'm getting ready to go and look for she again this morning.
Yeah, I don't know how that could be.
Yeah, it is. But she getting good. They taking good care. She in a river hospital.
Beautiful.
But listen now, the protest. What happened with the protest? Nothing surprising me. And you see, African man we play with the good youth.
Frederick McKinney.
Yeah, you see them thing when I'm saying, just I try to live my life, but don't take it on nobody. I used to tell my wife that, and people coming and crying by she and all that. I said, I don't want to hear nobody problem. When I was young growing up, I had it hard. I will listen to people, I will try and help, but you see, taking on people's problem longer in your heart and your head. They don't come out, you know.
All right, Mr. Grant, thanks much, and I hope everything continues to work well with your wife in between there. Yeah, Wendell, let me tell you what important. I now put all the stuff together for you guys on all the different platforms, on the WhatsApp, everything coming in there. Lots of people on the poll this morning. So this is how you voted, Wendell.
All right, the results of our poll this morning. Are you surprised at the action taken by the TTPS in arresting the protesters? 11% of you said yes, 89% said no. 11% said yes, 89% said no. All right, so those are our poll results. Of course, we have an interview coming up now with Kurt Allen. So Charles would have played his tune. That was from not last year, was it the year before?
Your turn now.
Yeah.
I can't remember, you know.
Because he reached the finals, I think, with that tune.
Yeah, that'd be but yes, you tell us.
Yes. So let's go straight into that interview. Don't worry, people. We'll come back to this story after the 8 o'clock news, right? Yeah. After we finish with Kurt Allen.
Yeah. Okay.
Morning,
sir.
Pleasant good morning to you and the crew.
Could dress up like he's the president of TUCO already, yes? Morning, good.
That's the role from in advance, you know, so I'm ready.
Yeah, clearly you are ready. So, morning, Kurt Allen. I don't know if I've ever interviewed you before, actually. I don't think I have.
This is the first time.
I think this is the first time you've been.
Already.
Yes, right. So, good morning and thanks for joining us.
Your turn now was when, Kurt? A year before?
Last year.
Okay.
2025.
That tune we played was last year, right? Right. I remember. And a lot of people thought you're bashing the then Prime Minister, you're bashing the PNM and so on. A lot of that was interpreted in that tune. But you always sang fearlessly.
Yes. And for the people, you know, my calypso is always influenced and directed and motivated by the people. And that's just one of them. Whether PNM, UNC, or whoever is in power, you would notice that my track record, my repertoire has always been political and social commentary, and it goes beyond a political party in power. It's for the people.
Right. I'm good with that. I mean, you've always been one of those calypsonians who's always been up there all the years. You understand? In terms of your voice and so on. Right. I know you had a daughter singing too, not so good?
Yeah, well, part of being my daughter and being part of the family, naturally she would gravitate into singing, but not as a profession. That was more of her expressing herself because as she was homeschooled, and Calypso was used as an integral part of that homeschooling program. So that it only lent itself naturally for her to be a singer, but not professionally.
Right.
As a matter of fact, she's a school teacher teaching math, physics, and chemistry at a high school in Massachusetts, USA.
Oh, excellent.
Yes, well, quite quickly, sir. I mean,
time
really goes by quickly, Kurt.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Time flies.
That's excellent. I always tell people never let anyone know what you're doing until it's done.
Correct is right. That's a principle that we have. So that's a family principle.
Right. Nice. So TUCO, Kurt, I mean, we've talked TUCO for a while on this morning show. And in terms of what's happening, and I think we have seen the deterioration, for want of a better word. I want to sound like a campaigning for you, but these are my views for a while. We have seen the deterioration in TUCO, especially this year. What the hell is happening in TUCO?
Well, again, a lack of proper and creative leadership. We have moved from the glory days of TUCO to all the hopes, aspirations in 1993, thinking, of course, that we are looking for development and growth. But what we have seen is a continuous slide. But I think that this year it has reached an all-time low with too many controversies, too much negativity. As you know, anytime people mention the name TUCO, it seems to be attached to bacchanal and kusume and confusion. And that is one of the main motivation behind me offering myself to serve, because the image and the integrity of the organization has plummeted to an all-time low.
What are some of those things that you're talking about exactly, that the controversies that are worrying?
We saw, for instance, controversy after controversy. We saw what happened in the Calypso Mona competition this year, where a lot of people were complaining about the judges. We saw the shifting of the goalposts in terms as it related to the road match competition, with the rules being changed without proper notification, I would say. We saw that a president who is absent from even speaking to his members, there's some sort of barrier where the members are asking for a meeting to even discuss Carnival 2026. Asking for accountability, transparency. In an election season, election year, we are asking for a membership list. And these are the sorts of things that we see it as contempt, because it's one thing to ask questions. Any organization and members would ask questions, but it's another thing to be ignored. And I think that is what the membership was actually feeling. You're asking the questions and you're being ignored. And I think that represented this gross disrespect. And me being one of the stalwarts in Calypso, a lot of people would have come and complained to me and asked me to speak up and say something about it. And I think that that's why I offered myself to be that bridge and to provide better representation. I think that our members deserve much better. They deserve service.
How many members are there in TUCO?
That's a question that we've been trying to determine since October. Letters after letters, even threats of court action. And to date, we have not received one word to let us know, okay, you have 600 members. Because listen, in order to force like an emergency meeting, you need to have a certain percentage of the electorate must attend. So if there are 600 people and you need 10% of that, you need 60 people. But we don't know, so that sometimes you have this meeting and there's no quorum, because you're thinking that it's this amount of members. They come and say, no, we really have 800 members, so there's no quorum. And that is the type of a cat and mouse game that we're playing, so that I can't answer that question in all honesty.
Wow. But even at this stage?
Even at this stage.
Has the election date been set as yet?
Yes, actually, yesterday it was announced that the election will be on the 12th of July. Again, keeping with this, I'm not complaining, because I was hoping that this election was going to take place last year because of the urgency. But then again, you're elected for 3 years to serve a full 3-year term. If an election has to be called before that 3-year term, you must first go to the members, call a meeting with the general membership and explain the situation and get that approval. The elections are constitutional during August, and now it has been shifted to July. So no complaints, it's just the process. We have to be able to start doing things the right way so that the younger ones can take example, because they are looking on, They are very silent because many of them fear victimization. They are very young in their careers, so they don't want any obstacles because of personality clashes or who they may be supporting. So they are silent, but it doesn't mean that they are not paying attention.
Yeah. Now, we would have spoken to Roger Mohammed some months ago, and we were also trying to get onto Bali, but we didn't get him with that situation that came up concerning some payment to calypsonians who would not be. What is that really about? If you could give your version of it.
It's alleged. It's been alleged that members of the executive were given payments to abstain from competing. Like if you're not competing in the competition and you're a member of the executive, they will give you a particular amount of money to compensate. What we've been seeing is that people who have no history of even making it to the semi-final rounds, far less the finals or being a threat in the finals, they're receiving more money than somebody who is actually competing and has expenses to pay in terms of props, presentation, getting themselves ready, buying a song, going to the studio and recording, all these expenses that these people have. And at the end of it, if you place last or if you place any in the finals, you end up about $45,000 thereabout. And you're hearing that some people are receiving $100,000, some receiving more, and they have not even put one foot on the stage. Some of them didn't even have a song for the season. So it's a bit of it's unfair for the artists, the general membership to be going out there and representing and putting themselves out there. And then you have some members of the executive who have chosen not to compete and who really cares because they're not making an impact, a lot of them, and receiving that generous payout. That is one of the reasons, again, that the membership uneasy.
So did that ever happen before, or is that the first time?
I want to believe that there was precedent set, but there is no information. We are asking for that information. I am asking for that information because I don't want to just say this is the first time it's happening. I've heard stories about it, but not in this magnitude where it's like a free-for-all feeding frenzy.
Right.
Yeah, that is really something else. Good. Now that the elections has been called, I mean, you put yourself outside there before that, saying that you are going to challenge for this position. What are some of the things that you feel that you could do different and make a change?
Well, as we are seeing, the art form is struggling. One of the things I saw is Calypso in trouble. That's a question everybody asking. Is Calypso in trouble? But to me, it comes like asking if oil and gas is in trouble. Oil and gas not in trouble. If you have oil and gas and it's buried below the surface, buried under the sand, it's your job to mine it, to explore and do some drilling. I'm not seeing that Calypso is in trouble. I'm seeing is that the people who are supposed to be mining the Calypso and exploring it, they're the ones who are in trouble because they're not equipped. What I will be bringing to the presidency is a new vision for youth in terms of the junior Calypso structure. I have the Youth Academy, which will be focused not just on the competition or the competitive aspect, but the developmental stages in terms of going to the schools, doing some workshop with the young ones, getting them prepared not just for competition, but prepared for this industry to embrace Calypso, to understand the great history, to understand that they stand on the shoulders of greatness. That is something that is totally absent. One of the main things, however, is establishing a health and life insurance plan for our membership. We have an aging membership. Who maybe consider the younger ones, but we are heading there inevitably. So we have been seeing our icons in particular going through social challenges, economic challenges, health challenges, and there is nothing in place to actually cushion that effect and that impact they may be feeling. So I've already started discussions with an insurance company to put forth a proposal similar to what the Jamaicans did for their entertainment industry. I'm also heavily invested in bringing back and rejuvenating, reviving the Calypso tent culture. We are seeing that totally destroyed, where the seats are empty. Yet still, the same performers who perform in other events, those shows are filled to capacity at some times. There is no movement, particularly on opportunities for calypsonians outside of the carnival season. And that is something we'll be working on to provide all-year calypso tent that all calypsonians will have access to at different stages. We also would like to establish a women's arm, because our women over the years, from Lady Trinidad to Terry Lyons, we had singing Francine, who helped influence the change of the name from the Calypso King competition to the Calypso Monarch, although it was done before Rose actually won the competition. But because of the women's involvement, we saw the impact. We saw singing Sandra, Denise Plummer, Maria Bowler as a young female composer, right? So that we want to develop a women's arm so that the women can have an independent representation and to push their case forward. Of course, the globalization of Calypso. We have so many people in the diaspora who are willing to lend a hand to the development of this great art form, and they are being excluded. They are not being, no one is reaching out to them and saying, listen, we need you all on board. We need all hands on deck. We have calypsonians outside of Trinidad and Tobago, Denise Belfort, who is doing very well right now. We have key designer Prescott, we have Tigress, we have Connector, and these people are prepared to make contributions. It's time that we recognize them, honor them as Calypso, as TUCO Calypso ambassadors. Give them that title. We don't have to wait for the government to say cultural ambassador. We can say TUCO Calypso ambassador and bring some respect. And those are just some of the things that comes to the top of my head.
Yeah.
Of course, there are much more, because we have a green banana plan and a right banana plan. The right banana is to deal with the things that we have to touch on now. For example, tomorrow I will be launching what I will call a business and services directory, where we have calypsonians who are involved in business. They are entrepreneurs. Some are involved in construction. Some have food and catering businesses. Some have hair salons. Some are involved in mass. So what I've done already is do a compilation and get all their information. And we're going to start advertising them and promoting them from a TUCO perspective once I get into that office. But at this stage, I'm doing it as Team Calypso Calypso. And when I say team, it's not TEAM, it's THEME, so that anybody who is aligned to the team Calypso could feel free to join this movement. And this will be launched tomorrow. I'm also involved in launching on next week, this is a big one for us, a revival. We call it the Calypso Revival Recording Project. And I'm free to say now that we have attained the services of Leston Paul, Carl Beaver Henderson, Pelham Goddard, Kenny Phillips, Frankie McIntosh, some of the younger ones that you may know from this year in terms of the road march and stuff, Kyle Phillips, Kit Israel, Roland Richards, who's an international Grammy producer, and two producers out of Nigeria by the name of Keys and Yuti. They have all agreed to be part of this drive to record 60 calypsonians for the upcoming season. 60 calypsonians will be recorded, and not just recorded, but after the recording is done, what happens next? Where's the marketing? Where's the distribution, the record label? Oh yes, we have Mr. Adrian Smokey Joseph out of the UK, who's one of the executive producers and will be handling marketing distribution together with Mr. Jamal Talib of Hometown Records in the United States of America, and Mr. Elijah Chevalier of West Coast Records in Trinidad and Tobago. So we have 3 executive producers who will be on board to ensure that the music is distributed, marketed, not just in Trinidad and Tobago, but internationally. And as I said, all the producers I just mentioned, they are suddenly on. They have given their commitment. So it's now to reach out to composers, singers who will be interested in being part of this historic project.
Yeah, good. One of the issues that have come up over the years.
But wait, let me just hold your thought 1 minute. Because as Kurt mentioned on that particular distribution stuff, right? I just wanted to just touch on it a little bit, because I remember a while back, when the Resistance was there, I recognized while we were at 102 and stuff, that a lot of the calypsonians are having problems in getting their music to the radio stations. So who have the wherewithal to pay for blasts and that sort of thing, it will reach. and one or two others who don't have that have to come with either a CD or something or any which way that they could. And some others, well, just don't know what to do. And I had suggested to him at that point in time that TUCO should have all of these different media houses on file. Let the calypsonians bring the music there, and let TUCO be that distribution to make sure that, and that way every calypsonian, his music will be going out to all the various platforms.
Correct is right. Beautiful suggestion. And that's the way we should be approaching it.
Yeah.
That's the way it should be approached. We need to call a meeting, as a matter of fact, with program directors and DJs. Some of them are very supportive of the music, but the format. For example, if you decide, okay, you're gonna to play calypso, you're gonna have a special program for calypso. After 2 weeks, you're gonna run out of music, because you will have to end up playing the music of yesterday. Shadow, Kitchener, Sparrow, David Rudder, because the input that you're getting now, and even the quality of the production is very difficult for program directors to really embrace us fully. So these are some of the things that we need to understand. We need to talk to program directors and ask them, how should we present this music? What are the standards that are required for the integrity of the production in order to get airplay on the station, and get a partnership, get a buy-in, so that when you're ready to release, you have an avenue. You're not going to just release on Facebook and sit down and wait. That it's not happening. So we need to bring in all the troops. Especially at this time, as I said, calypso is not dying. The oil and gas is not dying. We need to get people who understand how to mine this resource, how to explore it, and how to drill. We have to get down. Sometimes drilling, you might not have a drill. You have to start with your hands to dig. That's what the pioneers did in terms of Roy and Lion, Lord Executor, Attila the Hun. Those people were digging with their hands. Now we have all these excavators, and then people sit down and cross the leg and relax, and like they're waiting for AI to press a button and the work to be done. No, it's not going to work that way. You have to get down in the trenches. And that's what I'm prepared to do, because getting down to the trenches is not something difficult for me. I am from the trenches. Right. I, as a matter of fact, as a calypsonian and a composer, represent the trenches. So that this is home. While I've elevated myself in a number of ways, I am still connected to my root. And I think over the years, being a member of Roy Cape All Stars, which was an institution in itself, and my involvement in the art form, working with the CARICOM Secretariat as a cultural consultant from 2002 to 2014, producing shows like Cari Festa, Marketplace, producing CARICOM Day in Guyana for the Guyanese government and the CARICOM Secretariat in 2007. I am very involved. I started a band called the Windies Band that featured the likes of West Indies great Curtly Ambrose, Onion out of Blue Ventures, Andy Armstrong from Spare One, All Stars Band. So I think I've been really involved, and now it's time to share that experience with the wider community and step back from competition, because this is one of the questions many people ask. Kurt, if you become president of TUCO, would you still be competing? No, that's a conflict of interest. Of course, I would.
I was just about to ask him that.
Yeah. I think that goes without saying.
I don't have to wait for people to suggest or to ask me that. That is natural. I have accomplished as an artist. I can safely say I've accomplished everything I set out to do, with the exception of probably going international and taking the music international. I've never been one to focus on Grammy Awards, because I'm realistic in terms of the music that I sing, the message that I bring. I don't see that message and that type of social consciousness being rewarded in a Grammy Award setting. The Grammy Awards, most times will celebrate the artists who are singing popular music or music to make people dance and party or feel good music, which is part of Calypso. It's part of the Calypso brand. But when you look at the consciousness of Bob Marley, for example, how many Bob Marleys followed up in his footsteps in terms of when he passed. We had, instead of having an ex Bob Marley, we had Yellow Man, who came with a whole different style and changed the face of reggae totally. So that I understand my role as a calypsonian, and my role has always been to maintain the integrity of the music, to stand on the greatness and continue the work of the legends before me.
Kurt, one of the issues to me, one of the bigger issues that calypsonians have suffered with over the years is the issue of a health plan. In that a lot of calypsonians get sick, they fall at hard times. I mean, we've seen it now with I think Oscar B and a couple others who are not well. What is the plan for fixing that?
That's what I mentioned before earlier when I said one of the main pillars in my manifesto is the health and life insurance plan. Because and we have already begun talks with the insurance company, so it's not a pie in the sky or something that I'm promising. I have the documentation here to show it. And and part of it being, again, in terms of, we talk about welfare because there's a welfare department in TUCO. Yes, while welfare is understandable, I want to bring a new culture of well-being. You don't have to wait until these icons and members become challenged in any way to assist. Well-being means exactly like what I said, finding out what the members, the different talents and skills, and help to promote it. Well-being means, as I wrote to the Minister of Agriculture, requesting an audience to discuss the possibility of TUCO members accessing state lands because for farming, because a lot of our members are into farming. So we need to look at the well-being before it reaches a stage of welfare. We need to even promote education in terms of health, in terms of how you treat with the body, your diet plan, and all these things that leads to, when you have these risky life choices, it leads into different types of challenges later on. So these are the types of things that I believe that we could get eventually to make it the culture of TUCO by starting with the youth academy, because we need to focus and bring this culture not just from the adults calypsonians, but the youth calypsonians. Get back these school programs running. Get into the schools. When I was coming up, we had an active, active barrage of calypsonians coming to the schools. You have school concerts and you get to meet the calypsonians. You want to be like this one, you want to be like that one. All those things are gone. There is no, even Calypso History Month is now like it no longer exists since Brother Existence, who was, I must say, God rest his soul, who really pushed that whole concept of October Calypso History Month. And we had so many activities get towards, getting the public to buy in. Now, for the past 3 years, there no activity whatsoever. No nothing.
Yeah, as you talk that, why hasn't TUCO ever pursued like a piece of land somewhere that they could build a headquarters and they could do? Why hasn't that ever been an issue?
That's one of the reasons I'm here, because I'm asking the same question. The members are asking these questions, and I don't think that it's just the media or the public asking these questions. The membership has been asking these questions, no answer. It always said, we're working on it next week, and they give you this hope that something is happening, that there is movement. Until 3 years later, 5 years later, 11 years later, we still end up paying a rent for a building that we don't own. We don't have we don't have access to a hall to say, okay, Calypsonians, we have this hall available. It's our hall to do events during the year. We still have to be going to Napa, going to Radisson. As you would see, the Calypso tent for the past 2 years went to Radisson. And again, that's a big bill, because the amount of money it costs to rent Radisson as opposed to renting Napa for the night. It's a vast difference. And these are some of the things that we need to address, and we are asking questions, but unfortunately, no answers.
What about persons who don't? Because at Carnival time, where Calypso is like, okay, I have to write a Calypso so I can make it to Skinner Park. If I make it to Skinner Park, well, that is the end of the Calypso and the season for me.
Unless you're an executive member, because you don't have to make it to Skinner Park.
Right. and the other part of it now is that, okay, well, I like the thing, I write my Calypso, but if I don't get in a tent, that is the enemy also. What for all this talent that is outside there, what can be done to improve those kinds of situations?
We need to offer assistance, especially, as you said, right? When you look at the 10 or 11 finalists in the competition, or the 40 finalists in the semifinals, that does not even touch the surface in terms of the activity and how many members actually participate. How many members spend money on recordings? How many members spend money on getting themselves ready to perform? And sometimes you perform to nobody, and sometimes, most of the times, they reach nowhere. They advance no further. And as Gad Sinclair had sang to last year or year before, this Calypso go make my papa, go turn my vagrant, So these are the things that we have to understand. It's not just coming from God, but it's coming from a wider voice that's saying we need help. We need help. And this is what I'm talking about. We have a president who says that being a calypsonian is not viable. It's on record, on video, where he's saying being a calypsonian is not feasible. And if you're not, you are people will call police or doing something else. You're in us dark and slam down, slam the desk for emphasis. And this is the issue. I remember when I came into the Calypso, it had no TUCO. TUCO was something that came in 1993. David Rudder didn't have a TUCO in 86. Shadow didn't have a TUCO. Stalin didn't have a TUCO. Sparrow, Kitchener, none of these had a TUCO, yet the Calypso had formed and the fraternity was vibrant. Now we have a TUCO where we have a cushion or a platform, a foundation to build on. And you're telling me Calypsonians suffering? There is no economic movement, especially outside of the competition structure. So this is what I'm talking about, getting our Calypsonians touring again. Listen, one of the things that we do, and we come back and boast that we went on tour, I can tell you because I've been part of that structure, is that we go and perform to the same people year after year, people who of diaspora, Trinidadians who live outside, Bajans, Grenadians who in love with Calypso, and it's the same audience. We are not taking Calypso to new audiences like Bob Marley did by taking it to the festival circuit. That's something that I did in 2011 and 2012, where I toured the festival circuit, where people were saying this is the first time they're hearing Calypso. And then the brand of Calypso they're used to is the Harry Belafonte brand, that a different swing altogether, not the hardcore Calypso and things that we know. So it comes like getting a mission all over again. That the same thing that Attila and Royal Lion did when they formed a mission and headed out touring to get the music out. I think that is what we need to do. But I'm saying that we need to look at the music festivals. They are open arms. They accept our music. They accept folk music. They understand the traditions of our music. And we should be looking towards those other avenues rather than just going and sing for the diaspora year in, year out, and nothing happens. So I want to get Calypsonians touring again. I have a strong link with the festival circuit. I have an agent who is willing to assist, and we have the talent. There's no doubt that we have talent to fill that gap, because some people, as I say, are social commentators, some are party, but there are others who also sit and play with the guitar and sing a full repertoire. There are others who have different things to bring, a jazzy effect. It's not just the Calypsonians that you see in the tent. Remember, our great Calypso art form is not just the traditional Calypso, it's soca, it's chutney, and some may argue it's many different things. When you look at the world music landscape, you're hearing influences of our music in reggaeton and even in dancehall, in the earlys especially, you were hearing that influence. So we need to understand, we need to mine this oil field, we need to mine this gas field, we need to explore, we need to do some digging. You can't just sit down on our laurels and expect things.
Good. Two questions quickly before we end, because we're going past the time already. Who else is contesting the position of president of TUCO, and whom do you have on your team? Do you have a team, TEAM?
No, I don't have that's it. I don't have a TEAM. I have a THEME. And once you find synergy with that team, then we can talk, because whoever gets in there, if I'm president, and whoever else gets in there, we need to work together. So, I want to establish, I even held talks with Bodyguard, and we're still ongoing talks, because some people are saying that a second, third, and fourth entrance could actually split the votes and make it easier for the incumbent to go away again with victory. So these are the things that we have to address in the coming weeks. Know that the election is called, but most importantly, I wrote to the EBC, the Elections and Boundaries Commission, because again of allegations of potential voter pardon and voter rigging. And I wrote to the EBC, who has indicated favorably that they are willing to participate. I wrote to TUCO, asking them, because the channel is that TUCO must make that request. A request to the EBC to monitor the election so that we know there's a sense of integrity. Again, I've received no response from TUCO. I wrote this letter about a month ago. No response, only saying received, and that's the only acknowledgement. So I'm saying it is important, with these allegations flying around, it's important to have the Elections and Boundaries Commission monitor this TUCO election. This is a very important election, and I'm calling on the General Secretary, I'm calling on the President of TUCO to write to the EBC and ask them to monitor this election, so that the members, at least the membership, will feel an ease knowing that the process is not tainted.
Very important. Kate, we want to thank you so much as always for passing through. We really appreciate the time that you're here and coming on the platform to let people know what you're about. So we wish you all the best going forward.
Yeah, I'm happy to hear though that you've reached out to Bodyguard. I hope you all can work things out for the betterment of Calypso, because this president, sorry, he ain't got it. That is my opinion. Eh?
That's my opinion. Eh?
This president doesn't need to cut cloth, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. And take care.
Take care, Kurt.
Okay.
All right. Of course, that was Kurt Allen, potential candidate for prospective candidate for the presidency of TUCO. He had a lot of plans. Kurt was always a bright guy.
Yes, it's a lot of
not surprised. He didn't even talk about the app. He launched an app recently. He was talking about an app the other day. I was watching Gael, and he was talking about an app that he has. And he didn't even speak about that, and that sounded really exciting.
Right.
You know?
And there's so many things to talk about, but as he goes forward, you could tell that he has been doing a lot of work, putting things together. So I really wish him all the best. But people, we are way over our 8 o'clock news, so let's do that, and then we come back and we chat with you inside of the final hour.
The news you need, the clarity you deserve. Local, regional, global. This is Net Radio News Now.
This is News Now on Net Radio and Guile TV. I am Derek McMillan. Thank you for joining us. The central bank has met with Tobago business representatives as part of ongoing consultations on the economy and financial services. The meeting in Scarborough focused on issues including foreign exchange access, banking services, and financial literacy. Business leaders also called for more economic data to help Tobago companies better understand their contribution to the national economy. Discussions further covered proposed payment system reforms, including the CARICOM payment settlement system and Trinidad and Tobago's instant payment system. The central bank says feedback from Tobago stakeholders will help shape future financial policies and its strategic plan for 2026 to 2031. 3 government ministers toured the USS Nimitz, one of the United States Navy's nuclear-powered supercarriers, during a visit to international waters north of Venezuela on Monday. Defense Minister Wayne Sturge, Works Minister Jirlian John, and Legal Affairs Minister Saddam Hussein were invited by the U.S. Embassy and Southern Command for the visit aboard the aircraft carrier. The delegation traveled on a U.S. military aircraft and observed flight operations, including aircraft takeoffs and landings aboard the vessel. Sturge described the experience as impressive and revealed he met 6 Trinidadians serving on the carrier, later arranging for doubles to be sent to them after the visit. The Defense Ministry says the tour forms part of ongoing cooperation between Trinidad and Tobago and the United States on regional security and maritime partnerships. A 19-year-old sanitation worker and father-to-be has died after being crushed beneath a garbage truck in Kelly Village, Coroni. Dead is Deshun Joseph of Claxton Bay. Relatives say his girlfriend is 4 months pregnant with their child. Police said the incident happened around 9:12 Tuesday night while Joseph was working alongside a garbage truck. Investigators said CCTV footage showed the truck reversing when Joseph got off the moving vehicle to collect a bag of garbage nearby. Moments later, he was struck and pulled beneath the truck. Relatives said they were initially given conflicting accounts about the tragedy before later viewing CCTV footage of the incident. Police investigations are continuing, and the truck driver could face charges. The Water and Sewerage Authority is urging residents in several Northeast communities to conserve water, as ongoing dry weather continues to reduce production at the North Oropouche Water Treatment Plant. WASA said output at the facility has dropped from 20 million to 16 million gallons per day, affecting areas including Aruca, Maloney, Arima, La Horqueta, Sangre Grande, and Cumuto Manzanilla. The authority acknowledged complaints from residents experiencing little or no pipe-borne water and said teams are rotating supply schedules to manage the reduced output. WASA said operational adjustments are in place, but warned that normal service depends on sustained rainfall. Residents are also being encouraged to avoid unnecessary water use and monitor WASA's official platforms for updates. Trinidad and Tobago abstained from supporting a CARICOM Foreign Affairs statement condemning ongoing measures against Cuba and warning against possible military aggression toward the island. In the statement, CARICOM's Council for Foreign and Community Relations expressed concern over worsening economic and financial restrictions on Cuba, saying they have deepened hardship for the Cuban people and affected CARICOM nationals living and studying there. The Council also defended Cuba's right to import fuel and warned that any military action against the country could destabilize the wider Caribbean region. However, the statement noted that Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana reserved their positions on the matter, distancing themselves from the regional stance. Finally, global car makers are facing growing pressure as Chinese manufacturers continue to outpace US, European, and Japanese rivals in electric vehicles, batteries, software, and vehicle design. At Auto China 2026, foreign executives reportedly expressed concern over the speed of innovation and automation inside Chinese factories, with Honda's CEO admitting traditional car makers are struggling to keep up. Industry analysts say the competition is no longer just about electric vehicles, but about who leads the next generation of mobility technology. Chinese companies like Xiaomi, Huawei, and BYD are integrating cars with software, smart devices, and ultra-fast charging systems, while firms like Xpeng are also investing in robotics and flying cars. Foreign brands have seen their share of China's car market fall sharply in recent years, and many are now partnering with Chinese companies to access advanced software and EV technology. Analysts warn the global auto industry's center of gravity is increasingly shifting toward China. And that is Net Radio News at this time.
That was News Now. Stay informed with New Era TT Radio. Net Radio.
Scandal in Cipriani College! We are back! The box office smash Scandal in Citrus is back! We are back because you demanded it for 3 nights only. Friday the 29th and Saturday the 30th of May at 8:30 p.m. and Sunday the 31st at 6:30 p.m. Tickets available now at usual outlets and online. Scandal in Citrus, we are back at Cipriani College. See it again or see it for the first time. Don't miss it!
Are you taking care of your sexual health and overall well-being? At Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, we believe your confidence, wellness, and intimacy matter. Visit us at our convenient locations: 10 Carmody Street, St. Augustine, Edinburgh, Chaguanas, Shops of Daybay, 95 Circular Road, Vistabella, Docks Ranch Lightpole 51, SS Aaron Road, Penal, and Metro Hotel, Suite 1, Number 2 Knoll Street North, Couva. From relaxing massage services to professional guidance on sexual wellness, we are here to support you every step of the way. Consult with renowned sexologist Dr. Raj Ramnanan for expert advice tailored to your needs. Take the first step toward a healthier, more confident you. Call 285-9739 or 645-4543 to book your appointment today. Total Image and Dr. Raj Adult Boutique, where wellness meets confidence.
S&H Rumbox, 137 Western Main Road, St. James, for all your retail and wholesale needs for alcohol and non-alcoholic beverages. Call us at 686-0599 or visit us at 137 Western Main Road, St. James. S&H Rumbox, drinking out of the box.
Two Fat Fellas celebrates its final performance in San Fernando, Naparima Bowl.
One night, one show, Saturday, May 30th, night of the holiday.
Two Fat Fellas stars, Cecilia, Kenny, Kevon, Zachary, Rachel, and Rhodey.
The ridiculously funny comedy is at Naparima Bowl for one final night.
Tickets available at Dormont Shoe Store, Long Circular Mall, Anthony's Floral Val Park, K-Square Stores, Eastgate Mall, Brentwood Plaza, C3 Center, Athletes by the Park, Southern Food Park, Basket, Coffee Street, and Point Fortin. Naparima Bowl box office opens on Thursday, the 28th of May. Also online at islandetickets.com. For more info, text or call 683-0356 or 683-4843.
Check out our early bird special online at Island E-Tickets. Two fat fellas.
It's the Grand Clearance Sale at Fats International Styles. Everything must go. All clothing, only $100. Sneakers, just $200. Yes, you heard right. Massive deals, unbeatable prices while stocks last. Visit Fats International Styles Arima opposite Castro's restaurant. Don't miss your chance to grab the hottest styles at crazy clearance prices. Hurry in today because once it's gone, it's gone.
Advertise with us on New Era TT Radio, the fastest growing streaming platform for talk in Trinidad and Tobago. Audio and video ads welcome. Elevate your brand with us. Connect with us at newerattradio@yahoo.com or call us at 299-5156. Now what are you waiting for?
Norris asked a question here on the chat. Let me see if I get it. If he is not elected, what will happen with those plans? Hopefully, someone who is elected could have listened to Kurt, paid attention to what he plans, and maybe try to implement some of the same plans he's doing. But I don't see it happening with the current president if he's re-elected. But hopefully someone will. You know what I mean? That's the most, because Kurt will have no control, I guess, if he is not elected. He will have no control over what happens in TUCO, right? But hopefully he will get through, and hopefully he and Roger Mohammed, whom I also like, whom I also think will be a good president. Anybody but the current president will be a good president.
Well,
I have nothing personal against NC King, but it's clear he's been compromised. It's clear he's not interested in the welfare of the Calypsonians. It's clear he is stifling people, Calypsonians' voice. It's clear. You know what I mean? And that's not what for all the years Calypsonians singing all kind of thing about prime ministers and about this one and that one. But the people who led TUCO didn't show that kind of blatant bias. But he is, I mean, hearing it in his words. He's basically saying it. That's what, and fine if that's his style, but that's not the style that people want in Calypso. Let people sing on anybody, anything. You know what I mean? Calypsonians have done that for years. And if you come in to change that, I'm sorry, you're going to kill the art form.
Well, the way I would looking at it is, if something is not done, it very well look like it on its way out.
Boy.
You know? Because without government funding, a lot of those tents cannot stand up on their own.
That's true.
And if this administration decides to pull its funding or to reduce its funding, I don't know how TUCO and them want to make it. But definitely something has to be done to rejuvenate it, you know.
Well, I hope Michelle Benjamin also too, as the line minister, says no. We need to support this. We need to support them. I mean, you're in power. You have a resounding majority. What could possibly go wrong? Except if you're real mess. If you let the TTPS do what they want, that could go bad. That could go terribly for you. You understand? Calypsonians ain't no threat to you.
Anyhow, so speaking of that, so let's just go back a little bit to yesterday. This is where the young lady, I keep forgetting her name, is Edwards. What's her name?
Alyssa Phillip.
Alyssa Phillips. You know, and she was reading out her stuff. and all surrounded by the police and stuff. So we play a part of it. It's a little long, but we play a part, right?
I am a close friend of Kaya Silly and an activist and an advocate for justice for Joshua and Kaya.
Okay, thank you very much. Right? We spoke to you about that part of it, the chanting and the noise. This is a state of emergency, right? We will not, this is not a silent protest, right? Listen, I am telling you to desist, please.
The
state of emergency does not prevent persons from speaking.
It doesn't?
Nothing in the regulation. Nothing in the regulation. Nothing in the regulation say that you cannot speak. Well, listen, Mr. Abdullah. This is not speaking. This is a chant. This is something different. A chant is freedom of expression. All right, good. No problem. Freedom of expression. Yes,
this officer, no, the same one who just hear him out. He was at the very first official protest. God allow you to speak with me. God allow you to be here as the first official representative of the DPP. This gentleman who was
police service. He's the assistant commissioner.
The assistant commissioner.
Yeah, he's
this gentleman who just walked past here gave a lot of trouble. Don't allow the devil to use him to allow you to disperse us. Because we listen to you, my statement here, and don't allow that. My statement to the DPP take the control. My statement to the DPP is this.
The same place
at this time, I was not rushed to demonize the DPP, Mr. Roger Gaspard, because I understand that he goes by what evidence was brought before him. But this does not automatically mean that he got the truth. And because my trust in the powers that be has sunk below zero, I am inclined to believe that everyone is involved until I see otherwise. So my questions to the DPP are simple. Have you at any time considered that the evidence brought to you by the DPP could be compromised?
Let her read it.
So since he has given me the opportunity to read, I would like to restart. Thank you, sir.
No. Continue.
No, start over. No, I didn't hear the first part.
Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? You're going to carry this a place where you don't want it to go. Why are you doing that?
Because you allow unreasonability.
Why are you doing that? Continue.
Okay. At this time, I will not rush to demonize the DPP, Mr. Roger Gaspard, because I understand that he goes by what evidence was brought before him. But this does not automatically mean that he got the truth. And because my trust in the powers that be has sunk below zero, I am inclined to believe that everyone is involved until I see otherwise. So my questions to the DPP are simple. Have you at any time considered that the evidence brought to you by the TTPS could be compromised? Was it thoroughly examined? And if yes, please enlighten the public on what evidence formed the basis of this advice to arrest. Was it fingerprints on a weapon? Was it gunpowder residue? Or was it simply just statements given by the officers involved? Did you ever question the legitimacy of their allegations? Seeing that it took 4 months for them to realize that Silly was a prime suspect? I ask these questions because according to the facts revealed to the public, I cannot fathom what possible evidence there would be to incriminate Kaya Silly of all people. And the facts I am referring to is the video footage that reveals a number of things. One being that the officers were the only ones firing. Two is that they did not take cover when exiting their vehicles, which is inconsistent with there being any prior encounter with gunfire coming from that vehicle. 3 is that a surrendering man, which posed no imminent threat at the time, was still met with 19 bullets. 4 is that after the vehicle and those involved were riddled with bullets, officers operated suspiciously around the crime scene, saying things like, "Open your hand." And as I mentioned prior, they did not arrest Kaya immediately after she was discharged from the hospital. I would think it's only right to arrest a dangerous shooter immediately rather than waiting 4 months later. Which also brings me to the fact that the Forensic Science Center took 4 months to send the file to the TTPS. And these are questions to Mr. Derek Sanka, Director of the Forensic Science Center. What took them so long? And why are there approximately 17 officers working at the Forensic Science Center in the same department that handles police-involved shootings? And were they at any point involved in this particular case? Because according to an article in 2020, these officers were only placed there to clear up a 7,000 ballistics backlog that should have been done by now. Is the Forensic Science Center compromised? Has evidence been fabricated? And Mr. Gaspard, have you considered these possibilities? The nation saw, and we know that this is a corrupted scheme to escape accountability. And Mr. Gaspard, I have heard many vouch for your character. I have heard that you are a man of integrity. So as a man of integrity, are you also aware, or are you at the very least inclined to believe that Kaya is being used as a scapegoat by the TTPS? Or are the actions and the blatantly shameless, ridiculously asinine fabrications of the police service are one?
Boy, darling.
Are one that you are as dark and as gullible as everyone else who is in support of the actions and the blatantly shameless, ridiculously asinine fabrications of the police service.
Yeah. Now,
so Charles, the TTPS made a real mess of this, you know?
Well, it
I'm
is.
also hearing, I think it's some attorney said, how could they have possibly seen anybody through the tint of that glass on that car? Somebody pointing a gun at them. They say it's impossible to see through the back glass. You couldn't possibly have seen somebody pointing a gun at you because the tint was so dark. You know? They have made such a mess of this thing.
So it's like. So when did you see the person pointing the gun after you shoot out the back glass?
I was saying, you know.
So and that is the thing right now, because so many questions that she has just put out there that everybody is asking those same questions, and because the whole integrity of all of these institutions are now coming into play with this whole situation. Because if you listen to the questions being asked, it's like, is it that how can we trust the police service, who are the ones doing the investigations, to do proper investigations now, especially when they are investigating their own in institutions like that. Now the police always talk about they lock up their own, they prosecute their own, but maybe some others are now more privileged than others, and it is actually pulling the whole DPP's office into
distribute.
He at some point in time have to come out and talk.
Well, you see, poor fella, as I say, as we know, he is going based on what was provided to him by the police. But she also mentioned there the head of forensics. What is your role in all of this? What evidence did you come up with to give to the TTPS? Because she pointed out that there are 17 TTPS officers in forensics. So what role did they all play in coming and giving the lead investigator this evidence to go to the DPP? Because the DPP have no choice at the end of the... Well, I think he does have a choice. But you know, because even the ace, you remember the case with the missing child in Valsain? When they went to the house and they found the remains of the girl.
The remains, yeah.
Yeah. And the DPP told them, listen, go back and get more evidence. When they said that it had to have been the parents, I think eventually someone was arrested. And did somebody commit suicide in that matter, Sir Charles?
Yeah, somebody did.
Yeah.
So the DPP has, I am sure that he's listening to all this, if you want to call it, noise that is taking place in the public domain. And it does not place a good light on the DPP or the police service at this point in time.
Yeah. Well, I don't think the police service care, but I'm sure the DPP would. I don't think the TTPS care, you know. I don't think they care how they look. They're looking. Because especially when no less a person than the Prime Minister comes out and supports them with statements, with her tweets. Whoever is typing her tweets for her. I don't think they care.
Anyway, in other news, Scandal in Cedros is on this weekend. And actually it starts tomorrow night at Cipriani College on Friday at 8:30, Saturday at 8:30, and Sunday at 6:30. So Scandal in Cedros is back after a short break. You should not miss it. I mean, as I said, the reviews have been exceptional. And so we're on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Tickets are available at the Cipriani College box office, which opens from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. I know some outlets have sold out some of the tickets for some of the nights, so they may be replenished today. But you can get tickets at K Squared Fashions in West Mall, East Gates, and in Brentwood Mall in Chagonas, Jabili Rawe in Tunapuna, Electronics in Arima, Sharpley Auto Services, and Antoni's Florals in Val Park Shopping Plaza, which is just below the Val Park Chinese restaurant in Val Park. So all of those places you can get tickets. You can also purchase tickets online. You can check RSR Productions Theatre on our social media, whether it be Insta, TikTok, or FB. And you can check there the methodology to accomplish purchasing tickets online. And may I just share briefly somebody who was also an actor, and you may or may not know. I'll just share, maybe a minute of it, so you can see. Oh, I'm feeling like Sir Charles. I just didn't.
You feel like Sir Charles. Sir Charles just feel like Steve Kahn.
Oh, sorry.
You can't find what you uploaded.
Our political implications.
No.
No comment. And you may quote me. Yes, sir, go ahead.
On the subject of political consequences, I think it is right to say that this is a very broad topic for not only the murderer, but the...
Sir, this is not a forum. Now, if you have a question, would you please ask it?
I was merely trying to explain, sir, that my readers would ask this question. Is there any justice apart from might?
Well, who's that question directed at?
I think possibly the gentleman for the defense.
Justice exists only in its own right. It exists apart from power and apart from might. Expedience can have no part in justice.
Thank you, sir.
Any more questions? No?
Soldier not a better? Did I say better? If you did, I care not. When Caesar lived, he does not thus have moved me. Peace, peace, you does not so have tempted him. I does not. No! What does not tempt him? For your life, you does not. Do not presume too much upon my love. I may do that I shall be sorry for. You have done that you should be sorry for.
No, folks.
Is that Ronnie Williams?
Yeah, so
Former PNM government minister. That Ronnie Williams?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Whoa, where you get that? And Basil Pandey, where you find that?
And Basil Pandey.
So there's a little bit of acting chops of the former, well, now deceased Prime Minister Basil Pandey. I had wanted Mr. Pandey to appear in one of my plays at one point, and it was a play called The Stranger, which I had written, and it was a juxtaposition between, how we always say all the young people of today and the young people doing all the crime and blah 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 blah. And I was trying to show that there is a nexus for how young people behave today vis-a-vis the decisions that the generation before me. So I was trying to show that nexus. So in it's this boy who has just committed a heinous murder in West Moorings and has come to Wallerfield in this house where there's this retired principal and his daughter, they live. She's a librarian. And they have a routine, and this stranger who's going to presumptively visit his father up the road comes into the house. It's a rainy night, thunder, lightning, and he knocks at the door, which disturbs their peace. And they go out, and he's saying, I'm going up the road by my father. And the rain caught me, and of course he had groceries in his hand and a big brown paper bag, and it all broke and all the groceries scattered. And they say, well, okay, come in, and they let him in. And they were just about to have dinner, so being civil, they said, well, you can have dinner to them. And while they are eating the dinner, the daughter asked, well, in general conversation, well, what do you do for a living and stuff? And he says, I'm a shooter. And she said, a shooter, what's that? Is it like photography or something like that? And he says, no, I kill people for a living. Oh. And he continues eating, and it becomes this tense-filled night. And so the place called The Stranger. I did it a few years ago. Well, it's one of the plays that I wrote. I haven't done it since because it's very serious. It's very, very little comedy in its own.
Yeah, it's not comedy.
But my intention was to show the juxtaposition between the principal, who is all about rules and young people and nurturing the minds of young people, and this, of course, young man who has no rules. And how much is that generation of the principal responsible for who this guy has now become? So that ultimately is what the main theme of the play is. And I'd wanted Pandey to play that role.
Oh.
And I'd sent him the script. And he had liked it, but he told me, boy, I can't remember no lines now. No? So eventually, when the play was done, Raymond Chukong played the principal. And I played the young man who came to visit, and Natasha Jones played his daughter. But yeah, it's always
you must send those clips to Michaela. She probably doesn't have them.
Yeah, but it's on TikTok.
She shares things about him regularly, and I've never seen those.
And it's actually from Gael's library. It's a TikTok that I pulled, but if you referenced it, you could see that Gael came up, and I think so Gael was part of that, of which we are on now. So yeah, but interesting stuff, in terms of,
Yeah, Gael has a lot in their archives,
Yeah, they have endless, very valuable stuff in there.
Yeah. Yes, Ron DeSantis, he was Port of Spain South own Ronnie Williams, MP. I remember I used to hear so much about Ronnie Williams. I never met him personally. You know what I mean? I was way too young for that. But I'm shocked to see that video with Ronnie Williams and Basdeo Pandey. I'm sure PNM don't even know about that video. That's great, Richard. Excellent. Yeah.
That's some.
You ain't gonna get another show like this, huh? Well, they should just be sending like donations, subscribing, and sending things like mad to the show now. Because we're doing this for free. I don't know if they know that, There's a labor of love, not a cent we get.
Yeah, like my website. My website is a labor of love. I was up on trying to finish my website and doing some integrations in it till maybe 1:15 this morning. And I say to myself, I see now why people charge so much money for websites. And you need
a life.
And somebody tell me, why don't you just hire somebody to do it? And I said, because if I hire somebody to do it, then I'm going to do it like how I'm doing it. Because I'm doing it. I'm doing it as a passion of how I want it to look. They're going to do it as a job. And they're going to get annoyed with me because I'm going to keep saying, change this. No, that's not the look I want. That's not what I want. That's what I want. Yeah, and the price will still keep going up. So maybe it's it's a learning curve for me because I'm not a developer, but it's a learning curve, all these things about JSON files and all of that and understanding it.
Most important
brain and doing it. It's pretty much completed, but it's just there's one snag that I've yet to conquer, and I will conquer it.
Remember that little Heineken now and then. Last night, my IT guy, my barber and my IT guy came to assist me with something.
Yeah.
We sit down there battling with it for a while, and then we ended up getting through. You understand? And I had a little bit of Uncle Nearest, a nice scotch. Where's my last scotch? I say, take that.
No, but you're right, when you have somebody who understands, because I'm sure if a developer was reviewing it, how I'm doing it now, they would probably move faster because they would understand things. Some things I have to try and understand.
Yeah.
So maybe I really should have had a developer just with me and just saying, complete this part. But that's money. There's real charge. So I'm like, I'm going to battle through.
Yes, Dean Allen. He's my barber and he's my IT guy.
Yeah. Are we taking some calls?
Yeah, once you're ready.
Ooh, that was said a little snarkily, wasn't it?
Fine, so.
Yeah. we cannot tell us our code 11315 or 2995156. Lines are open to you.
We invent that word on the breakfast show, snarky. That's our word, Nobody else don't use that word,
Nah. Call good morning.
Well, Richard would always snark.
Morning, Gabby.
Morning.
So, I find Trinidad is getting overheated. I think I don't like the beach here, but I know I go on the beach to cool down because this thing put in my head is what is happening here. It's every day something new, something different, something. It's not like us, like how we know it.
Miss Dabby, I will tell you something. Since I remember coming into talk radio in early 2000, it has always been like that, Every day something does happen.
Well, probably I wasn't taking it on. I was, I just find everything so probably as I'm more relaxed or you're not going out to work every day, and then things were there. But as when you're home doing things, you're seeing it more. Probably is that, but I just find the country not settled. Why is that? Nothing. And then having the Prime Minister, everything commenting on things. What they're supposed to comment is go and have a news conference, a media conference with the media people and take questions from them directly, not through your social media page.
No, I think the media contacted her, they asked for a comment.
But that's what I'm saying. The media contacted her. She should come to the media, say, okay, I'm having a news conference, media is invited, and a wide range of questions and answers. Not like how it is. I just don't agree with how she addresses the country. Lack of addressing the country. And going on this, I have to say truth social because everything is Trumpism.
Everybody.
Say social. And this young lady, Miss Phillips, she's very, she reminded me of myself when I was very young. I was very like her, but she.
Dabby?
Hello?
Yeah?
Yeah, we can't lose you.
You lost me?
Yeah, we lost you. But that's right. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, so I said that she reminded me of myself when I was pretty young. But the good thing, her parents supported her. My parents never did. So I had to let it go. But I like strong, articulate women like her. And she'll reach very, very far. And that's why I see such as I used to tell you on the program all the time, it's time the young people get more involved in a lot of things. And all the older people, stay in the back now. Stay in the back. Get the young people a chance. Because you see what was happening in the 70s, 80s, 90s, even the early 2000s, they didn't experience that as we did. But it's their time now. Let them do it as they please. Not breaking the law, I'm not talking about breaking the law. Let them do it as they see it because they were not there during that last generation. So I always say kudos to young people. Come forward and talk. It
takes courage. It takes courage.
Yeah.
It takes courage to stand up. As I said earlier in the week, it takes courage to stand up and challenge what you believe is going wrong in Trinidad and Tobago. And kudos to people who have the courage to do that. Because not many people have the courage to stand up and protest, even to go by Woodford Square and stand up and protest, even if it's across from Parliament, or stand up and protest anywhere. They would think it, but they won't do it. They would action it.
Yeah.
And so, kudos to you that you have the moral courage to stand up for what you believe in a country that sometimes lets too much pass.
Caller, good morning.
Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Sometimes I'm wondering what is our identity now, Trinidad? Yeah? We have been channeling through troubled waters right now, because it seems as if we are picking fights with everyone. Be it Venezuela, CARICOM, the police, everything seems to be coming down all at once. And this young girl, I think it's more than just courage, but able to sacrifice your freedom, because her freedom has been taken away once it is that you have been locked up and arrested. And she showed something that our union leaders, and I'm wondering what it is they're going to advocate for come June the 19th. Because it seems as if they are only serving their own self-purpose, because I'm not hearing them talking about the 60,000 people, or close to 60,000 people that lost their work. Things are very hard right now. There are a lot of persons who are out of work, the forestry workers themselves. And you can't tell me, right, that if an institution, a government department like WASA, that was overstaffed, and you still hire hundreds of persons and persons of influence and put them in position, and I'm not getting water because you don't have the budget, and you are supposed to support that. You can't tell me that during a state of emergency that I cannot gather and voice my opinion, but yet on the same day, you have persons who are marching, and you don't see that element of force. So it brings me to this. It leaves me in a logical thinking mind to look at the differentiation between the two. Yeah?
Sadly, that's how some people saw it. Sadly, that's how some people see it.
I can see some people in there, but nurses did march without incident too. Nurses did march and protest, and teachers have done it, and I don't know if they're still going to continue doing it, but teachers have also protested too. So you've had some protests that have been happening despite the SOE that have not been interrupted.
Interfered with, yeah.
Interfered with.
But on the face of it, it still will not prevent the common mind from looking at it. And the police service is in a communication crisis.
That is how you put in it? You being kind to them?
No, I'm being very kind, right? There's something called strategic communication, and there's a lack of leadership from the Commissioner of Police. There's a lack of leadership from the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. You cannot run a country, and in 11 months, you have not faced the public, but when it is that Rubio, you're there making things here, right? So when that mindset, thanks for the opportunity to express myself.
I told you come in my rum box, caller. Yes, you promised to come my rum box.
Yeah, he's down the road here.
You gone?
Maybe
I see Michael Cadet saying he'll come down my rum box one of these days. He say I'm always willing to make my contribution, but don't know how, because my phone never have money. So I'm planning to come to Rumbox one Friday evening. We'll see you guys. Good job, always locked on.
Okay. Good morning.
Yes, Michael.
Yeah, morning. Morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
Charles and I'm trying to get some information clear here. Wasn't there another protest yesterday beside the one by the DPP office?
Yes, the caller just referred to it.
Huh?
The caller just now just referred to it down in Separia.
Oh, the one in South or along Port of Spain you're talking about?
What was the situation with respect? I think it was understood it was just in front of a police station or something.
It was.
I'm not sure. But that protest down there in Separia.
Yeah. And it was against Alderman Victor Roberts.
Oh, because of the Alderman. Okay, I just wanted to get clarity on that because if some people are trying to find out if it is, SOE and you're not supposed to protest, right? Because you look up these people down here and up there when they had the protest. Nothing.
But other protests have been going on in the SOE, as what we just said. The nurses protested, teachers have done it. So there are other protests that have gone on that have not been, interfered with. In terms of by the TTPS, they've allowed it to continue.
And then the question I'm trying to figure out too is why they wait until she does read out all these things and then they're moving on her.
Yeah, that was strange, huh?
That was strange. All the police was right there standing there. They were listening to us, reading out, asking questions. So the people who are the media people and whoever was around and after that they come and arrest her. I mean, that looks so poor. We're not, gentlemen, we're not real mess. That's sad to say.
I mean, they were detained, but were they charged?
No, we don't know because we haven't heard about them being released.
The police could have detained and said, look, we're not going to charge you. We just wanted to dissipate the protest and you're the leader or presumptive leader, whether informally or not. And we just are detaining you so that disperses. So that could have happened. I don't know what happened. I suppose today we'll find out whether they were actually charged with anything or not. And I assume that there are lawyers coming forward to assist pro bono with regard to the matter.
Yeah. Now, I want to send a message to the Prime Minister this morning, right?
Oh, Lord.
Prime Minister.
This is when they're talking, the Prime Minister.
Yeah. Prime Minister, you are being set up. You are being set up. The TTPS setting you up just like how they set up the last Prime Minister.
They set up the last Prime Minister when they set up the last Prime Minister.
So you want to join this thing now? You want to join this conversation with me and the Prime Minister?
I just asked him one question and you can continue. How they set up the last Prime Minister?
I am on record as saying the TTPS was the downfall of the PNM. And
I know. You just said they set up the Prime Minister. What do you mean by that?
Richard, a lot of those issues that that happening now happened also under the last government, and every day they were calling for the resignation of Hines, fire Hines, Rowley this, Rowley that. Every day you hear that,
Yeah, but you know what? Who used to be making that call?
People.
Who are the people?
The population. Some of these same people who vote PNM was also vexed with how the TTPS was conducting themselves under Dr. Rowley. And they called for the removal of Hines. You know how many PNM people wanted Hines to go?
Yeah, but PNM people wasn't making noise in that regard.
You making 102,000 of them stay away from the polls. What do you think?
They stay away from the polls, but they wasn't outside. They wasn't putting their voice outside on social media to say Mr. Hines should go.
You mad or what? You mad or what? You mad or what?
I can't recall one PNM protester who was outside.
You mad. You mad.
Like who?
I am saying, Sir Charles, the actions of the TTPS caused a lot of people to blame the then government. It is happening again.
That is, but I think you're now saying it right.
No, I said that, but I was very clear in what I was saying.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. The actions of the TTPS caused people to hate that last government, and they are causing people to hate this government.
So like I said, basically the TTPS will make or break governments.
Yes, I say that too.
Well, then hold it right here. Caller, good morning.
Yeah, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Wendell. Good morning, Richard. Good morning, Charles.
Morning.
Yeah, calling because I'm real concerned about this matter, and why keep escalating and things like that. No, and on the ground, I go to the supermarket yesterday. Hear people talking about that. By the bar, you hear people talking about that. On the block, people who was previously disengaged, apathetic, talking about that. Right? Why is the end game? Are they trying to rile up a sleeping giant? Right? You almost look like what happened here is a gathering storm. A gathering storm. A lot of people are sitting back and they're watching. And if they keep escalating this thing, right? I say Richard say this morning. We go on to 1970 and we go on to 1990 and all kind of stuff and things like that. Why are they pushing people in this direction? Right? We could talk about the incompetence of the police. Now, if you stay 4 months in an investigation, you complete the investigation, hear what they're doing. They come out with one set of charges. The public upset. They protesting. On top of that, now you come with additional charges. If they bring all the charges at one time, when you keep escalating, then there are protests, you lock up the people and them. People venting. And you know why this is happening? People don't care about Kaya Seeley and Joshua Samaruan thing, you know. They're seeing Joshua Samaruan thing in themselves. The same thing can happen to me. Right? Now, we'll understand the first thing, the police. We have a protracted SOE. The police on high alert. They're tired. They're overworked. They're edgy. Right? So they can escalate the thing. What is happening to the police officers? Right? Are they supposed to go on counseling? Where are they now? Are they on a vacation in the Bahamas to cool down? To the thing? What is going on with the police? The people uncomfortable. We can't the excuses and say listen to the police because of this heightened state of thing and they talk about the shooting. The first report we get is that the people try to escape, they try to stop them in Maloney and they speed off. Right? At what point did they speed off and they try to pursue them? And they were shooting behind them before. And then when they reach on the scene, they didn't find a gun or they threw the gun out the window or whatever. But we had based on what we seen, the evidence that we are seeing, not no speculative thing. And no, they probably might somebody say trust the process, and in the process, the police and they might win the matter locally, but that ain't going past the Privy Council and all kind of stuff and like that with that kind of evidence. Right?
Yeah, and then we don't know what is the evidence.
End game? Where are we going? What is the end game? Why are they doing this to rile up the public to come like Nepal and all these kind of places and things like that?
Okay, thanks very much.
Yeah, and you're asking all valid questions. What is the end game? The TTPS has to know. They have to know. They're not stupid. That if Kaya come and say.
So wait, you're saying the police are intelligent?
They're not stupid. I'm not saying they're intelligent. They're not stupid. They have to know, Richard and Sir Charles and listeners, that only if Kaya Seeley comes to the public and say, yes, I had a gun and yes, I shoot at them. So we take bullet. Nobody will ever believe their version of it. Nobody will believe, regardless of where you stand in the politics, where you stand in religion, where you stand in race, where you stand in the strata of society. Nobody will believe them.
All right, hold on, David.
I mean, has she been charged formally?
Well, they've said she is going to be charged, but she can't be charged formally if she's not here.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, yeah, but they would issue warrants, I guess. Maybe
I don't know if they have.
Tradition proceedings, I guess. I don't know.
They're not telling us that.
But Endgame assumes you have a plan and strategy. Does the TTPS really have a plan and strategy? Or is this
Richard?
Or is this just ad hoc behavior in terms of the situation? And that's what I was talking about in the beginning, about are they sitting around a conference table and strategizing, look, how do we save our image because we have made some missteps? Do they even recognize they have made some missteps? In terms of
1 minute, please. Thank you very much. So David, go ahead, please, as we come to the end of the show.
Thank you for taking my call.
Yeah.
I just want to say, the police integrity, the police trust, and everything of the police is being tested. And I want to say, and I heard somebody said it, if this present administration do not deal with raw police, do not deal with reforming the police, do not instinct the police via body cameras, we will have these types of situations happening again and again and again. And I'm saying to the Honorable Prime Minister, who is head of the National Security Council, wherever you have your next meeting with all the heads of the defense force, the police, everybody, ask the question, what is the situation with police officers, especially who in confrontational situations do not want to wear the body cameras? We will be playing catch up all the time, gentlemen. This situation that is playing out here is very disturbing. And it seems to me, as a layman, what is happening, the police continuing to change the goalpost, move the goalpost, and it's not looking good. We have to remember in closing that we are looking, the world is looking at us. And when these kind of things happen, they will form their own opinion, and funding and all kind of things for the police will be withheld. And I'm saying that the Prime Minister must address this situation. Don't let it go any further and let things happen like what happened here. I am very, very disturbed what I see playing out there.
Well said, Mr. Billy. And I want to add to that. The Prime Minister don't understand that she could change this thing. She could change the way the country is going, change the way people are thinking right now. Deal with it. Get rid of this, your incompetent Minister of Homeland Security. Get rid of this incompetent Police Commissioner, Prime Minister. And trust me, all the people who hated you will love you. Because they are not fit for the job. They are bringing you down. Just like they brought down the former Prime Minister. They are bringing you down. Get rid of them. You will lose absolutely nothing. People who don't like you will suddenly love you.
Yeah, well, my whole thing about that I hear a lot of talk about this whole situation. So what happened before? I am not so even interested in what happened before. I am just really focusing on that end result. Because even if the person was throwing Scud missiles up the road and you reach down the road and you have them cornered and they are surrendering, they should not be killed. And that is a major part of the whole thing for me. But we're gonna
have more incidents. This thing is not going to end nicely. You know, it's not. I'm afraid it's not going to end nicely. You know. Well, yeah, as I say, I didn't think it'll get worse, and it's getting worse.
Well, the way it's going, it will not end nicely, but it will take 10 years before the public really find out.
Well, I mean, the Prime Minister's already showed her hand. If you are accrediting the statement that was released yesterday to her, that indicates she's in full support of the TTPS.
But she could change that, Richard. She could change that.
That's what I took from her statement. But there's nothing in the current Prime Minister's approach to governance that indicates that when there, because she is the one who has said blow them up, clip. She has already indicated a violent response to criminal element as this administration's solution to crime. It's there as a sub-theme. It was there when she was on the platform, and it's there now. Even with the US, which many countries around the world thought were extrajudicial killings when you blow up boats, the US basically stood alone. Even their Western allies didn't support what they were doing. And the only countries that did were those in the Western Hemisphere, like Trinidad and Tobago, to a lesser extent Ghana, and some other countries, like I'm thinking Argentina and stuff, that supported what the US was doing in terms of what was termed extrajudicial killings by a lot of the rest of the democratic world. And even the non-democratic world in terms of people that not, not patterned after Western democracies. So where are we at? That's the Prime Minister's indicated that that's her approach. So I don't know why you think that it's going to be something else.
Yes, Richard, even Donald Trump, as bad as he appears to be, and has found a way out of this Iran thing, and temporarily. And when last you hear about war in Iran? When last you hear about what's going on in Iran? Even he found a clever way of doing it. She has to find a way to get back out of this.
Well, every day you hear what's talked about Iran and the US, basically.
When last a missile fire?
About the truce and what happening. I think there was an exchange of gunfire or something that went recently. But beyond all of that, the world is in just another time that we have to go through in terms of living through. All times are interesting in their own ways. So people who grew up during World War I and World War II would have thought, oh my God, look at what's happening. We're in a different time and we're going through stuff too. And we just have to navigate it. But part of navigating it is the speech and having opinions in an information age that says, I disagree with this approach. X, Y, or Z, or having the moral courage, as some people, for whatever the belief system, like Ms. Phillip, to stand up and say, I disagree, even if there is a consequence to it. Very few people have that kind of cojones. So as an overview, it's a time where people let their voices be known. Even this program, people are letting their opinions be known of how they feel about it. And I think it's for the government, because we're coming back to the government and the Prime Minister ultimately, it's for them to be sensitive that there is a lot of discontent to the approach being taken. And it's for them to understand, well, how do we maneuver this? And this is for the TTPS too. I think the TTPS, because they are Trinidadians and Tobagonians just like us. And I'm sure there are police officers that may not be in support of how the matters are being handled. You know, so they are also Trinidadians and Tobagonians like us who have opinions just like us. And in this small space, we have to find a way to navigate these waters and ultimately get to a point where Trinidad and Tobago moves ahead that everybody is lifted.
Well,
and that takes leadership across all institutions.
So you may have inadvertently revealed the strategy of the TTPS yesterday. In other words, grab Alyssa, grab 2 other people, and hopefully after that, that'll be the end of that. And maybe that was the strategy. That's what they sit down around a table and discuss. Today, we go in and grab a couple of them, right? We had enough of the stupidness. We grabbing a couple of them, and hopefully we will not have this again. And
well, I don't know that that's a strategy. I don't know that that's a strategy that's well thought out.
Well, that comes when you put intelligence and TTPS in the same sentence.
We'll see how it all plays out, because I'm sure there will be some more news coming out of what happened post the detention of Miss Phillip, and I think they said her mother was also detained.
Yeah.
And then we also had the good Jason De Silva also being detained. Yeah. So I suppose you'll get more information about what's going on today. Well, I'm sure there are things that are going down.
To leave. It is way past our time to leave. But before we go, for all you who are listening, coming up we have the Tuesday talk with the MSJ, and they will be talking about the US blockade and the effects of that. They have a panel that they have put together to talk about all of that and the effects of that and Cuba. Of course, Trinidad and Tobago and Guyana, we have abstained from that vote. So we wait to see where all that will go. But that's coming up in a little bit right here. But we're also getting ready for a big one this weekend. So, Richard?
Scandal in Cedras. It starts tomorrow night at 8:30, Saturday at 8:30, Sunday at 6:30. It's a great distress about everything that's going on in your life. You want to de-stress and laugh, you should come to Scandal in Cedras. I don't have to convince you. There are videos of endless people, and our highest rating to date is 200 out of 10. So that's our highest rating thus far. So that's to tell you how many people have seen the play thus far, and some people have seen it several times. You should not miss it. Trust me, you will not be disappointed. Of course, tickets are on sale at all the usual outlets, K Square Fashions in West Mall, Eastgates, Brentwood Mall, Jubilee Railway, Tunapuna, Electronics in Arima, and Tony's Florals in Val Park Shopping Plaza and Shafley Auto Services. The box office at Cipriani College is opening every day from 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. You can get your tickets at Cipriani College. Get them early. As I said, some outlets have already sold out the tickets for certain nights. Hopefully they'll be replenished today. So check your outlets. And of course, you can also purchase tickets online. Check RSR Productions Theatre on Facebook, Insta, and TikTok. We are looking forward to a fantastic show this weekend. Scandal and Cedrus. We are so enjoying this play. And trust me, you're going to have fun. Of course, netradiott.com continues of the net, netradiott.com. You can listen to the excellent programming throughout the day. You can also go to Net Radio Trinidad on TuneIn from your smart devices, and you can also listen to the program there. And of course, we know you have a choice, and we're glad that you chose us. The weekend begins tonight, people, at the second after midnight. So,
I have a message.
Smile on your face.
Yeah. I have a message for Victor Philip. If you could get in touch with Sir Charles and Sir Charles will give you my number. I would like to speak with you about something. Victor Philip, if you're listening, right? If it's Bishop Victor Philip, if you're still listening, right?
Yeah, I'll send you his number.
Or send me his number. Yeah. I think I need a favor from him. All right? So, folks, have an absolutely wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God. All right?
Somebody just harassed you that they want help with something. A little
you know, I always try to help people.
A little booklet. Somebody just say they wanted some help with a little booklet, and you decide you are now the agent for helping with the little booklet. I see it all over your face. I know you know.
I can't stop helping people, Richard. I can't stop helping people. But folks, tomorrow is your day. Richard and I, we are going to shut up as difficult as it will be. Well, even with Sir Charles now, oh Lord, he will talking. It'll be difficult.
Very snarkily.
Very snarkily. But we'll give you all tomorrow to talk, right? Don't worry.
Right. So have a fantastic day, people. Remember, the weekend begins tonight at a second after midnight. Remember, this man is great for your health. And you have been watching
The Breakfast Show.
Yay!
Get up. It's the time to start the day. The Breakfast Show is here. We bring in the soca way. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Wake up, it's a brand new dawn. The Breakfast Show got the vibes.